Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And I just watched the Toronto Raptors defeat the Golden State Warriors and go up 3-1. I know you're seeing the same thing. And you know what? I don't know. We'll talk about it. It's the Knicks Draft Special Part 2 because I had audio issues in Part 1. Although I was able to upload a video, we're going to go ahead and get started with this Part 2 video. We might rewind a little bit, talk about RJ Barrett, talk about Jared Culver, Darius Garland, talk about some guys. Well, of course, we're going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets trade. Let's get to it. And I did not mean to bring up the Brooklyn Nets trade. I apologize for that. I meant to bring up my intro. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the intro anyway. There. Thank you. There's the intro. What a weak intro it is. But that's the intro. And now I'm back. I got Nate in the chat. Who else just joined me in the chat? Not sure yet. But they're coming up. I got Aunt G in the chat. And I also got Guermo in the chat. You know, we're going to... Guermo, you missed a great conversation on the front stoop last night, man. Really did. It was... Okay, I understand. But, and you guys didn't hear Guermo just now, but you will because I'm about to unmute everybody. But yeah, Guermo, it was definitely it was a really good conversation. But today, and Mark got into the chat talking about the Knicks, whatever. But anyway, a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We just watched the Toronto Raptors defeat the Golden State Warriors. To go up 3-1. To go up to 3-1.
Nobody going nowhere.
Now the pressure is definitely on Kevin Durant to come back early, right? The pressure is on KD to come back early. Well, I don't want to say early, already. But the pressure is on him to come back.
He don't got to do nothing now. He can retire a Warrior now if he wants.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But the pressure is on Kevin Durant to come back for game 5 and try to will the Warriors to victory and get it back to Oakland.
Give me Kawhi, man. Give me Kawhi, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's where the pressure is right now for Kevin Durant. That's going to be interesting to watch. We're also going to talk about that Brooklyn Nets trade, how it impacts the Knicks. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I did do a video earlier today, and you've probably seen it, but we'll talk about it just a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to continue with our draft special and talk about draft picks. So let's get our video chat over here. And, of course, you can call in. Not right now, not yet. I'll let you know when to call in, 516-405-2246. You can join us in a Piron note, appear.in/NBK. All right. And Nate, what's good, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Did you just watch the Toronto Raptors defeat the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, I did. And, it was kind of crazy game because, if you watched it earlier, you thought the Warriors were just going to, run away with that game. But Kawhi Leonard showed why he is arguably now the best player in the NBA, in my opinion. I mean, the guy is a gamer. He plays hard. I mean, he's an assassin. I don't have enough accolades to describe this guy. I mean, very calm, cool, and collected. Doesn't get rattled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell of a player. And and I think in this series he took it personal because not only did he want to stick it to the Spurs, showing them why what you're missing out on, but also too, I think he sees Kevin Durant on the sidelines like, you know what, it's my time to be the best player. And he's taken that to the next level.
Do you think?
And
Do you think Kawhi?
I honestly think yes, I do.
Really?
I do.
Do you think Kawhi, kind of thinks that way? I'm not sure, man. This is a guy who barely talks trash.
Yeah.
His idea of trash talking is board man, right? Or nope. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. I just don't know if he has that kind of mentality.
He's never gonna come out and say it because that's not his demeanor to say that. Mm-hmm. But I truly do believe that he thinks he's better. He's the best player in the NBA. I really do.
He might.
But his game does the talking. I mean, how do you argue against that?
Truth.
He's a winner. He's a Super Bowl. I'm Super Bowl. He's a winner. He's an NBA Finals MVP. He's won he's going to probably win multiple championships. He's
already won multiple championships.
Okay, right? So yeah, he's going to win.
Did he win 2 with San Antonio or 1 with San Antonio?
No, I think it was 1.
Okay.
Or it's 2? It was 2? Okay.
I thought it was 2.
Okay, so it's 2. So yeah, so this will be his 3rd championship. Yeah. I mean, you got to have this conversation. I think he is the best player in the NBA now. I really do.
Okay. All right. Gormo, I'm going to keep you unmuted, mate, Nate. Gormo, what do you think, man? Do you agree? You agree with Nate?
That
Kawhi the best player in the league?
Sheesh. I would say he's probably 1B. And I'm sorry, I got to still give it to Durant, man. Durant, overall, his game is just unstoppable. I will say, well, Durant actually plays pretty good defense. Kawhi's defense is really great, but Kevin Durant's offense is damn near unstoppable. Now, Kawhi Leonard is playing at a high level, don't get me wrong, but Kevin Durant, I've seen games where Kawhi Leonard, like game 2, he was stopped. I mean, there are games where you can frustrate Kawhi. And yes, obviously Durant has had not great games, but Durant to me is the most dangerous player in the NBA. Like this series we're talking about with the Raptors and the Warriors, it's not the same series if Durant's in there. Like that's how deadly. And I feel like it's weird. It's like he doesn't. Sometimes you look at Durant and you hear him as like he doesn't have the self-confidence, but you see how the Warriors play with him and how they play without him. And once Draymond is kind of neutralized as kind of like that Joker role of passing the ball, getting the picks and all that stuff, once that's taken out, that Warriors team looks flat. Now, when Durant's in there, they even said to themselves, like, we feed through Durant. Like, we go through him, and we actually got lazy, and that's why we had to go back to our original ways in 2015-16, because Durant is just that dynamic of a player. Now, to me, give me any of them. I mean, they're both ridiculously good players. I'm not – if you want to say Kawhi is the best player, I could agree. Is one or one. But to me, Durant, how I see him play on the floor, in all spots on the floor, it's absurd, man. It's just that I think Kawhi's mentality is better than Durant's. But just as a player, I got to go with Durant for right now.
All right, for right now. All right.
Right now.
Okay. Now, if he already has the same amount of championships as Kevin Durant. When he won the championships with San Antonio, was he the best on the team then? He was about to be the best on the team. He was about to be the best on the team.
You could say he was the best talent on the team. Those San Antonio teams, they destroy any notion that you have to be the best player in the NBA to win a championship, because they've had some of the best systems that you ever saw. Like you could literally, Tim Duncan is probably the best power forward of all time, probably, or at least top 3. And yet you don't think of him when you think of that team. You think of that. You just think of that team as totality. You think of David Robinson. You think of Sean Elliott. You think of the small point guard, the coach. I can't remember his damn name. You think of Robert Horry, Avery Johnson. Thank you. You think of Manu Ginobili. You think of Tony Parker. So would you say he was the best player? I guess you say he's the best talent, but that system was just so beautiful, Sam. Like they lived and died through the defense. They lived and died through the half.
But he was their go-to guy. He was their go-to guy, because if you watch that year when they won the championship, I mean, the guy was unstoppable.
No, that's not necessarily true. He wasn't necessarily the go-to guy. It's just that he was the most talented. Remember, Popovich developed him by saying, look, we had no plays for him. We said, go out there, play defense, get a few rebounds, and you can shoot your threes. You can basically dictate your own game. Now, his defense against LeBron, or the system's defense against LeBron, was the killer, because they said, back off LeBron and let him shoot, because he can't shoot. And LeBron was flummoxed. He couldn't do anything. And that was, the coming of, I guess, of Kawhi. But Kawhi, during those championship years, wasn't even the same Kawhi when he got hurt when he had the ankle injury. Like that was
he was more defensive oriented early in his career.
Right, but he wasn't Kawhi Leonard. He wasn't the what we're seeing now. What we're seeing now is absurd.
Well, Greg Popovich, did say Kawhi Leonard is going to be the future of this Antonio Spurs. That was back then, of course. Let me get to Ant. Ant.
Yo, what's up, son?
Is Kawhi the best player in the league to you?
Absolutely. And I think so, not because I don't think, how can I put it? So Kevin Durant should be the best player in the league. But what Kawhi is doing is more impressive than anything Kevin Durant has ever done in his career, in my personal opinion. Kevin Durant, he's never done what Kawhi is doing right now. And that's lead his team. We're assuming they'll finish it off at some point, but that's lead his team to a championship. So until Kevin Durant can show me he can do that, I got to give it to Kawhi with a slight edge.
Okay.
He led the Warriors championship.
He walked into a ready-made system in Golden State. Kawhi kind of
already made
on that Toronto team.
Yeah, but we don't go anywhere without Kawhi.
I'm sorry, I didn't cut you. I'm sorry.
No, it's a little different though, because Toronto wasn't viewed as a championship caliber team until Kawhi got there. Golden State was a championship caliber team before Kevin Durant got there. So it's different.
33 games.
So Kawhi is elevating that team to championship status.
Okay. All right. All right.
The team Kevin Durant walked into was already ready-made. So it's different.
All right. Let me ask you, can Golden State can they make a comeback? And what do you think? Can they make a comeback? Can they come back? If Kevin Durant comes back for Game 5, can they push it to Game 6? And if they push it to Game 6,
Curry and Clay,
can they send it back to Oakland? If they can get it to Game 6, if Kevin Durant can come back and they can get it to Game 6, then they go to Oakland. There's a good chance that they can win in Oakland. Can they push it to a Game 7? Can Golden State come back? Down 3-1, can they come back?
Well, I've been calling 7 games the whole time. Golden State has to relearn how to grind. They haven't had to grind for the past 2 years, I feel like. And I think it's showing because they've been just so much more talented than everybody else that they could coast for 2 quarters and turn it on.
They don't have
now, they have to grind. And I think they got to get back to, fundamentals, playing tight defense, staying focused, because they make a lot of dumb mistakes on defense. Like Steph coming to double Kawhi. Like,
yes,
that was idiotic. They're doing a lot of dumb things.
Oh,
and I think,
thank you.
It's a habit. I think it's a product of them being so comfortable the last couple of years. I think they're kind of shell shocked right now that they can't just float to a win. So
thank you for pointing that out.
And the calls are gonna make the way the refs are calling the game. I mentioned it last show, man. They're letting them be physical, and if they let them boys keep playing physical like that, Steph can't handle that, man. Steph was about to cry at the end of the game. He stomped his foot and started pouting. He was about to cry, man. They can't handle that. So they need Kevin to come back and be a big factor.
Okay.
All
right. The Golden State Warriors have found themselves down double digits every game this series so far. Right? Dating back to Portland.
Going back to last series too.
Right. Dating back to Portland. They found themselves down double digits. Double digits. Let me see what Mark has to say. Mark.
Yo.
You're already looking depressed, man. You look depressed already. Can Golden State come back? Can they come back?
Bro, if they need a bench, they need, bro, it's 2-5 on offense, bro. It's 2-5. Because Toronto got everyone from they starting 5 to they bench just scoring. They just scoring. I never see Toronto score at the rate they scoring in the last 2 games. They're scoring at will. Iguodala just looks done. Sean Livingston is retired. Where else are they going to get offense from? Where else are they going to get it from? DeMarcus Cousins look trash. Draymond is not a max player. because he can't score. And every time the Splash Brothers get the ball, they're sending 3 Toronto guys. And then when the Splash Brothers dish out, Iguodala can't shoot. Draymond won't shoot. Kevin Looney won't shoot. It's 2-5 right now.
So you think it's done?
Bro.
Even if KD comes back, do you think it's done?
Even if KD come back, they don't have the bench. What are y'all watching? Bogan's coming up, Quinn Cook. What is this bench? What is this?
Hey, I mean, listen, this bench has, they got him here. They got him to the finals, right? They got him to the finals. Listen, I'm going to say this. I believe this. Honestly, I believe this. If Golden State was at full strength with KD and everyone, they win this series.
Yeah,
even with the bench, even with the bench that you're talking about, they win this series.
I'm gonna tell you why they win the series. Because if you have your 3 scorers, there's unpredictable with their offense. Just because they have the 2 Splash Brothers, Toronto is just loading up. They're loading up and letting the other 3 guys open. If you watch it, they just letting Iguodala, Draymond won't even attempt the shot. They won't attempt the shot. So anytime Curry come off the pick and roll, there's 2 guys right there. He'll pass out. Draymond will be at the top. Draymond's looking for somebody to score. Clay will come off the screen. There'll be another Toronto guy right there. It's 2-5 on offense. You got Van Vliet. You got Ibaka. You got Marc Gasol. You got Kawhi. Oh, God, he's just doing whatever he wants because they just can't. This double team that they're doing is just dumb. They're doubling. While Kyle Lowry is making
that one that you called out, man, I was just texting my coworkers.
The simplest plays. But there's no one that can score for these guys. It's a 2-5 what I watched tonight. It's 2-5.
All right. Gormo, what do you think, man? Do you think does Golden State have a chance? Any chance? If KD comes back, do they have any chance at all?
Now, if KD comes back, they definitely have. KD is a difference maker. But like Mark is right. That bench, they have no shooters.
They have nothing.
Who's that guy with the turnip head? What's his name? Quinn Cook or whatever? Like he cannot, like he's too inconsistent. I think game 2 he had a good game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Game 2 or game 1, but then game 3 in this game, like is like what is he doing? Like and I say what he's doing. They just don't have shooters, and they messed up by just getting a bunch of big guys who can kind of grab rebounds. Whatever.
Well,
so
I'm gonna say
Clay comes back.
I'm gonna say this though.
Bro, this was hard to watch.
Right. I'm gonna say this right now, and this is just my opinion. It might look like they don't have shooters now, but people are being asked to do more than they're accustomed to at this point. And and everyone, people have had to step up and play different roles, do different things. And when you're asked to do more, sometimes your faults shine a little bit more.
They turn the ball
and you play. I mean, but see, this is the thing. Golden State has always been a team that would turn the ball over. They've always been a team. It's just that they've been able to win, and it it covers it up.
They don't. It's like I think Mark made a good point. It's like, oh, not Mark. Ant made a good point. It's like they take the stuff for granted. I don't know. Remember in the 4th quarter, it was maybe like 6 minutes left to go, and I saw 2 behind the back passes. Now one by Iguodala actually got to his guy. But then there was one stupid pass, and it was like, dude, you're down by 10 with 6. You shouldn't be trying to be fancy. You know what I mean? Like, try to rush and get like 6 quick, 6 points.
You know what this look like?
Make a 6-0 run, 8-0 run. Play good. And it's like they don't. It's just they don't have now. What I'll say is that they do have length. Like that kid, the guy with the tats. Damn, I can't remember his damn name. Like long dude, can't shoot, but he can drive to the basket. Not Jordan Bell's another guy. He has like tats on his arm, low haircut. And he looks like maybe like a 4, maybe he's like a tall 3 or 4. And it's like, to me, it's like, look, if you can't shoot, that's fine. But like once you get the ball, when Clay and whatever are caught with the ball, like they're calling a double team, whatever, they pass you, drive to the basket. Because what I've saw a lot, Sam Anderson, they can't shoot like Clay and Curry. They don't have shooters like that. But if it's not Draymond, they don't drive to the basket or they don't make quick decisions to go to basket with a sense of urgency. A lot of times I see them kind of like pump fake. Yeah, Alonzo. Sorry, what did you say, Nate? Alfonso
McKinney.
Alfonso McKinney. Yeah, that was him. Long guy can drive to the basket, but they hesitate. It's like if they don't see Clay or Curry get out of that double team and try to come back at the ball, or Draymond come back and ask for the ball, they hesitate and they allow the defense to like kind of reset in a way. Yeah. So if it's me, I would tell those boys, look, push the envelope, because if you have two guys that still stuck on Clay or Curry, that means essentially you have a mismatch. There's basically a what would you call it? Be a 3-on-4, whatever would it be? Drive to the basket. Someone's going to come to you. You might have somebody down. I've seen a lot similar. Like someone's drive to the basket, and they can actually dump it off because someone comes, commits, and then someone. Oh, now they fumbled the ball a lot tonight down low when they got those passes, but push the envelope. Don't be scared. Drive to the basket. Force the issue. I mean, the refs aren't calling fouls. It is what it is. But be aggressive. You can't.
Today it was working.
You have nothing else to lose. You're down 3-1. Yeah. Be aggressive as possible, Sim.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, Sim.
I'm hesitating.
And you know, we're gonna transition into talking about the New York Knicks, and to do so, let me just ask the question.
Yo, Ed, you know what this series is about?
Hold up, Mark, you're still on. Does a Toronto win if the Toronto Raptors win the championship?
Broken down, bro.
Right. If the Toronto Raptors win the championship, does it impact KD to the Knicks or anybody else? KD to New York Knicks, KD to Brooklyn, KD to Clippers, whoever else. If the Raptors win this championship, does it change KD's mind to leave Golden State? Gorman, what do you think?
I don't think so, and there's two reasons for that. I think one, if they win, I think KD, because you have to remember what happened last summer, right? KD is a very sensitive guy, right? This is a guy who I think has very little self-validation, even though he should have the most out of most people. And I thought that when that owner, Loeb or Leb, whatever those stupid owners did last year in the parade, when they embarrassed him, it was a big slap in the face. I think KD was already having issues with kind of like, all right, I went to the Warriors. This is what I want to do for a basketball reason, but people are chirping in my ear and it's getting to me. And he got no sense of validation from the owners. I don't think he got validation from what's this big idiot's name, Draymond, when he was like, oh, we don't need you, you a B and all that stuff. So I think in his head, he's like, look, I won my two. You know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to come back and salvage this team. The owner doesn't really care about me. Draymond doesn't care about me. And the fact that no one else really kind of stood up for KD probably said that the team probably felt kind of like how Draymond feels, but didn't want to say it to him and don't really hate KD like that, but kind of like, we good without you. You're ancillary to our team. That's one thing. And I just feel like with KD, it's like it sounds weird. I think that him going to the Knicks, this might, if it's delusional night, is give him the sense that maybe this is something for him to build. This is a place where he could finally, it sounds corny as hell, but call home. Because really, he's never really had that. I mean, OKC, but then Westbrook took over that, and ownership didn't really galvanize around him. Right. Warriors, like I just said, and I think now with the Knicks, especially if he gets a spend guy like Kyrie, could kind of be his guy. But like if they win, it's KD and Kyrie. It's not like just Kyrie by himself. KD will be seen as a hero. I think he's kind of searching for that. All this stuff about the Brooklyn Nets is Stephen A. Smith just making up rumors. I don't think that he's looking to go anywhere else. You know, the basketball, look, he won his 2 rings, Sim. He won for basketball reasons. Now, if he goes someplace else, it's going to be for self-validation reasons. He goes and win with the Knicks. He wins one championship with the Knicks, and the Knicks don't win another 100 years. KD's still going to be seen as a god. For him to win one chip with the Knicks, he's going to be seen as a god. So I think he's finally he's going to come to Knicks. He's going to feel that self-validation that he's never felt in the basketball world. Now, I mean, if he wins, it's a great thing for him. Even if he doesn't win, for him to feel healthy in his mind, so he's not going on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram and arguing with a bunch of nobodies with fake burner accounts. If he could stop doing that and find some complacency in his life by coming to the Knicks, I think that's the reason why he'll come. So I think he's done with the Warriors, man.
All right, Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, too, that the Warriors didn't need KD. KD decided to join them. I mean, the Warriors just came off 73 wins. So there's never been this huge
Give me Kawhi,
we need you situation. We're happy you're here, but we don't need you. And, like Guillermo said, some of the players have made comments or something like that about how, he doesn't fit with what we're trying to do and all this stuff. They understand he's a great player, but, he's not a warrior. You know, he's just somebody who joined the 73 win team, you know, that just got tired of getting beat by that same team, you know. So, yeah, I mean, KD's already done. I mean, I've told you before. I don't think you guys keep saying he's going to play Game 5. I don't think he.
Well,
I don't
I'm
think
not
he's
saying.
playing
I'm just, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's been
what
talking
if,
like even
you know, at this
but
point,
even people.
at this point, if he is able to go,
Yeah.
this is the perfect time where he can really say, see, you guys need me, especially if he can come back and win, and they win, you guys need me. If this is really if it really is, if it's true what everyone is saying about how he feels in Golden State, and I'm not doubting it, this would be the perfect time. But you think that's it? He's done. He's on to another chapter.
I don't think he cares, because like they just showed a video on ESPN of all the players walking back to the locker room, and his demeanor is so low right now.
Well,
like
they just went down 3-1 as well. They just went down 3-1. So
true, but he was more upbeat the last game when they lost.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I think it's set in that it's over. You know.
Okay.
And I think that he's ready to move on, and he should move on. There's no reason in hell why he should re-sign with the Warriors, because they don't need him. They don't want him. You know, he was just a great player coming along to a stacked team already.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get back to the chat in just a second. All right. Get back to you guys in just a second. I want to give a couple of shout outs here. Big shout out to my man, Mighty Knicks. He says he feels sorry for Defrozen. Calls him Defrozen. Let me ask you, Marty, and I know it's going to take you a while to get back in the chat, unless you want to call into the appearing. Do you think that the Toronto Raptors would be in the championship if they had DeMar DeRozan? I don't. DeMar DeRozan is good. He helped the Raptors get to a certain point, but he couldn't get them over the top. I do not believe that they would have been in the championship game. I don't. Kawhi is a different level of player. You know, so do I feel sorry for him? You know what? No, not really. Not really. You know, he's still playing for a very good team. It happens in the NBA. I know that he was loyal, so-called loyal to the Toronto Raptors and all that good stuff. That's cool, but I don't feel sorry for him. He's making millions. He's good. Siobhan Robinson, thank you for the super chat. You said Golden State is like Rocky and Rocky 3. They got soft. Oh, it might be true. And Hotep Rel said the Raptors are long and tall. They have length. And then Hotep Rel again, thank you for the super chat. You say, dude, they suspended Draymond. They picked KD over Draymond. KD will stay if they lose, most likely. We really don't know what will happen. And basically, what you just said is the truth. We really don't know what will happen. It is all speculation at this point. It's all speculation. We do not know what's going to go on with KD, any of these guys. But it's fun to speculate. It's fun to speculate. So speaking of speculation, let's get into it. The Brooklyn Nets made a big move yesterday. They made a big move yesterday. And you can go, I'm going to say a lot of what I said in the last video, the video I put out earlier today. I'm going to say a lot of it now. But they made a big move with making a trade to clear up cap space. And if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen what that trade is, I'm going to show it to you right now. Brooklyn receives Taurean Prince, 2021 second round draft pick, and cap space. The Atlanta Hawks receive Alan Crabb, who was making $18 million a year. He had one of those Tim Hardaway contracts. The number 17 2019 draft pick and a protected 2020 first round draft pick. Let me tell you something. The Brooklyn Nets believe, they have to believe that something is coming their way. You have to believe that something is coming your way in order for you to trade away 2 first-round draft picks. You got to believe something's coming your way. To give up 2 first-round draft picks. Of course, they cleared the books. And, I mean, they gave away the draft picks and Allen Crabbe so that they could clear the books. That means they expect something. If not, and they don't get anything, now you gave up 2 first-round draft picks. You did clear your books and you got cap space to make other moves. But you don't have a young player coming in, a young stud, unless you make some other moves. So they believe something. They have to believe something. I'm convinced of that. They have to believe something. You know, that's just my opinion in the matter. Right? So now this gives the Knicks another competitor this offseason. Another competitor. And I know there's some people waiting around and they want to get to the draft talk. We're going to get to it, I promise you. But, you know, let's get through this, then we'll get through the draft talk. The Knicks have another competitor. We thought it was going to be the Los Angeles Clippers. That was the main competitor to the New York Knicks. We thought. Well, the Brooklyn Nets just threw their hat in the ring. Big time. Big time. Big time. They may be the biggest threat to whatever we wanted to do this offseason because they're basically in a situation where they can do the same, they can make the same moves that we can make. They may even be able to make a move for Anthony Davis. I haven't looked that deep into it, but they may be able to make a move for Anthony Davis as well. Now, of course, they traded first-round draft picks, but maybe it's possible. I don't know. I'd have to look deeper into it. But I want to take a look at, let's just take a quick look at the roster comparison and the situation, the offseason situation for the Knicks and the Nets. Because we're going to be battling for players this summer. We've all heard the rumors about the Nets and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving possibly going to the Nets, or the Nets being his preferred destination, or whatever the rumors are about Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Right now, under contract, the Brooklyn Nets, they have Joe Harris, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, Musa, Jarrett Allen, and Curix, however you say his name. Now, if they denounce all of their holds, they can have approximately $67 million in cap space. You're probably wondering why D'Angelo Russell's name isn't up here. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson's name isn't up here. Here's why. Both of those players have cap holds. They could be restricted free agents this season, this offseason. So they have cap holds. In order for the Brooklyn Nets to have the maximum amount of cap space, they've got to denounce the hold on D'Angelo Russell, which is $20 million, $21 million or something like that, and denounce the hold on Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, which is $3 or $4 million. If they do not denounce those holds, they'll have $46 million. If they want to have a chance at 2 of these max free agents, they've got to denounce the holds on both of those players, making them both unrestricted free agents, and they'll have $67 million. Now, for the Knicks have under contract Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson. You're probably wondering where Lance Thomas is, Alonzo Trier. Well, both of those players have non-guaranteed contracts going into next year. So if the Knicks are going to have maximum cap space, they've got to denounce all of their holds, and they're not going to pay. They're not going to guarantee those contracts for Alonzo Trier and Lance Thomas. All right, which will give the Knicks $74 million in cap space, which is enough to sign 2 max free agents. So now when you look at those 2 rosters, you're going to decide. And of course, the Knicks have a draft pick coming in. Okay. So looking at these rosters, now the Knicks have to decide. A free agent will have to decide which roster construction is better, if it's basketball moves that they're concerned about, if there's things other than basketball, business, then, that's going to play a part in any player's decision-making. But if you're looking at roster construction and the ability to win now or right away, if I'm coming to this team, maybe the Nets have the upper hand. Right? You got a couple players that can ball over there. Caris LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, they can hoop. Right? The Knicks will be bringing in a draft pick, probably RJ Barrett. Very young. You look at this roster here. Everyone here is under 23 years old. Under 22 years old. Right? Very, very young. And then you're bringing in another young player. Of course, the Knicks would have the ability to make some other moves in the offseason, trades, so on and so forth. Just like the Nets, this is a battle. This is going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. It really is going to come down to what are the players' goals? What do the players want out of this offseason? Is it strictly basketball? Because if it's strictly basketball, then someone like Kevin Durant, he's not leaving Golden State if it's strictly basketball. So that's one thing you got to take into consideration. If it's strictly basketball, why is Kevin Durant going to leave Golden State? It would be stupid. If it's strictly basketball, it would be stupid. So that tells you that there's other things. If he leaves, there's other things. There's things besides basketball. Anyone who's leaving Golden State, there are things besides basketball, whether it be legacy, whether it's business. Maybe it's preparing for retirement. Maybe it's just, this is the team that I want to play for. I was a fan growing up of this team. And I'm not just talking about Kevin Durant. I'm talking about anyone leaving the Golden State Warriors. All right, so anyone leaving the Golden State Warriors, it's not a basketball decision. You can count on that. So now when you talk about the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets battling for these players, especially for Kevin Durant, you have to look at what that player's goals are. Because if Kevin Durant's goals are business, I want to be in New York because of business, it's not going to Brooklyn. It's going to go to New York. Right? It's just another echelon. The brand is bigger. The brand is bigger. The brand is better. Listen, the Brooklyn Nets were last in the league in attendance, and it's for a reason. And they made the playoffs. The Knicks were 9th in the league in attendance. They won 17 games. The brand is just bigger in Manhattan. The brand for the Knicks is just larger. So if that's what it is, then yeah, there you go. And look, any player that comes to the Knicks or the Nets, you win a championship with the Nets, cool. That's great. Right? You get the 15 fans, the 15 Brooklyn Nets fans to celebrate you. You win with the Knicks, it's just going to be different. It's just going to feel different. It's just different. It's just going to be different. We've said it a million times. Everyone has said it a million times. But that's your comparison between the two teams right now. And before I get back to the video chat, one thing I do want to say is I am so tired. I do understand that the Nets have a better culture right now. It's going to be. Right? They've built a better culture. Everyone keeps saying, oh, their management, blah, 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 blah. Let's be real about it, though. Just like the Knicks, we all say now that the New York Knicks management is doing a very good job. They've made good moves. We haven't seen the fruits of their labor as of yet, but I do not doubt that it's going to come soon. Right? But this is recent. Obviously, just a few years ago, we had Phil Jackson, and it was a fiasco. This is recent. But the Brooklyn Nets aren't that listen, before this current regime, they did some stupid stuff too. Right? They did some dumb stuff. Why do you think they needed to get rid of Alan Crabb to clear cap space? If Alan Crabb was this or that, well, he wouldn't be one of the ones that they would move for cap space if Alan Crabb was going to be a big piece of their puzzle. They made a mistake with him, just like the Knicks did with Tim Hardaway Jr. You look at the trade they did with Boston when they thought that they was going to take Darren Williams and put him together with KG and Paul Pierce and make a super team. Stupid. Right? Gave up all those draft picks. Stupid. Hiring Jason Kidd right off the bat. Hiring a rookie head coach who just got finished playing with these guys in the league. I mean, like, he stepped off the floor just playing with these guys. And now he's coaching them. That is a difficult task. It's difficult to coach kids who are 10, 15 years younger than you. Now you're coaching guys that's basically the same age. That's a difficult task for Jason Kidd. And listen, I'm not saying that the Knicks did any better. I'm not saying the Knicks did any better. All I'm saying is everyone is lauding the Nets management and all this stuff. Coming into this season, they weren't supposed to be some great team. Their coach did an excellent job fitting pieces together, making sure they work hard. And yes, they did work hard the past few years. They've been a hard-working team. They play hard. They bust their ass when they get on the floor. But no one really thought they were going to be a playoff team. Right, so let's not act like they've been this model organization for the last 10 years. You know, that's just bull to me. That's just bull to me. But, you know, it's all good. And listen, I know. We don't have to say anything. I know that the Knicks have been a dumpster fire for the last 2 decades. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. But anyway, whichever way you go, the Knicks are going to be in a battle this offseason. And the only thing I want to say to the Knicks management is don't put any pressure on yourself. Do not put any pressure on yourself to make some big splash. Stick with your plan A, B, C, D, and E. Because I know you got them. You got those plans. Stick with those. Don't do anything outside of what you thought of the direction that you want to go. Don't do anything outside of it because you feel some kind of pressure over the Brooklyn Nets. You know, I know there's fans that feel pressure. I know my boy Mark feels pressure. Right? Because Mark came into the front stoop last night. We're having this deep conversation just about society and the relationship with cops and African-American teenagers, young men in our communities. Right? This deep conversation. Mark gets in the YouTube chat. Oh, the Brooklyn Nets are da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, I didn't even respond to him. I just giggled. And people are like, yo, Mark, this is not NBK. He's like, so what? So what? This is important. I'm like, yo, Mark is tripping, man. Mark is wilding out. You know? But let's get to it, man. New York Knicks versus the Brooklyn Nets in an offseason battle. But before I get to the appearing, the guys in the chat, just remember, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to keep you updated on what's going on. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can get a notification anytime that I'm live, man. All right? Or if I drop a comment in my comment section, you know, whatever it is, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So let's get back to the appearing, and I'm going to be answering phone calls in just a second, but I'm going to get to the appearing. I see Isaiah just joined the chat. Isaiah, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? Hey, Sam, I just want to say, shout out to you last night, man. It was a great platform last night. We had a great conversation. It was a very healthy conversation. You know, I really, really do wish a lot of more people just listen to it. And if you do, please subscribe to the Front Stoop. Please listen to it. It was a great conversation last night about the American justice system, about young Black, Latino, and Black kids and growing up. And you know, it was a very heavy, deep conversation, man. And I wish everybody can listen to it. Please, if you get a chance, please.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
All right, so I'm gonna.
Did you just come from the gym or did you just get out the shower?
No, this towel's wet, man. It's hot in my house, man. I ain't put the air conditioning in yet. It's hot.
Bro, you better get that AC. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, I gotta pay that electric bill, man. It's crazy.
Okay. All right. I mean, you do want to live in comfort too, though, right? Those box fans ain't gonna work. I tell you what. Do this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but if you don't got no money and you don't want to pay that electric bill with the air conditioner or whatever, go to Walmart. You can get this little tiny thing. It's like a mini air conditioner, right? You put water in it. You do plug it in. You put water in it, and it's supposed to make it cool. You had to put it right next to your face, you know what I mean, to try to stay cool. But try that out. Something.
Man,
don't burn up.
But hey, Sim, I got a challenge, Sim, and I want to see if this works. If I repeat myself, Sim, in this little thing I'm about to say, I want you to mute me and go on to the next person.
All right.
All
right. So let me ask you. So why So what's up with that towel around your neck?
Oh my God! I just said it, man. I'm hot, and it was cool. Put some cold water on my neck, man. It was cool. I don't know what Nate's doing. It was cold, man.
Yeah, hey, he's thinking. He was thinking, trying to figure out what to say. I was waiting for him to say, I don't want to get the AC on because I don't want to pay the electric bill because I was going to mute him. I was trying to get him to repeat himself, but he was thinking.
I got this, man. Man.
All right, man.
Well,
so
first, I just wanted to say first, I 100% agree with you with everything you just said. And I watched your video earlier, and you know, I think I said in the comments, man, it's so weird when it comes to the Knicks and Nets. Everything the Nets do, automatically, the Knicks are in it. The Nets can walk the dog, and they'd be like, "Oh, did the Knicks walk their dog?" Or it's crazy, man. It's like, I mean, there's been countless times. I know me and you talked a little bit. There's been countless times where Mark Berman, you know, all these New York media guys that wish they still had their power. They mad because social media took in their power of persuading persuading people with their writing, because people can look up stuff now that they don't hold the same power. So they take shots at the Knicks every time the Nets do something, which is crazy because the Nets have Frank Isola. The Nets have no beat writers, and it's just like all the beat writers are the Knicks writers, and it's like they take shots at the Knicks, and it's then you got Max Kellerman on First Take always talking about, well, you know, everybody names their daughter and their kid Brooklyn because of the Nets, and I'm like,
right,
dude, what are you talking about? People name their kids Chicago, Brooklyn. People name their kids because they want to name them that. Yeah. It's just crazy how he keeps saying the Nets are gonna take over New York. Listen, man.
You know, Max, you know, I don't even want to talk about Max.
Yeah,
I know, man. I know. So like, I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's going to
look, Sim?
Who do you think the Nets have a chance in nabbing and getting?
So I do believe that they got a chance at Kyrie, because I guess there have been reports that Kyrie was upset with the Knicks because they're not his first option. They don't want him to be the star. Of course, they want Kevin Durant. And I think what's happening with Brooklyn is that they are saying, Kyrie, you can be the star of Brooklyn. And it's like, look, I think at this point of Kyrie's career, to me, the best players are players that know what they can't do. The best players are always the players that know what they can't do versus what they think they can do everything. Kyrie, you are a 1B. There is nothing wrong with that. You are a 1B player. You are a very, very, very great 1B player. Without you, people don't win championships. But you can't be the first option. You can't be the one leading the team. You just can't. We've seen it in his career. It is what it is. I think he has to realize that. He needs people around him to tell him that you won't win a championship being the lead. You just don't have that talent, but you are one hell of a 1B player. You are one of the best 1B players.
Okay. So all right. So you think they have a chance? So you think they have a chance in nabbing and getting Kyrie Irving now? KD wants to play with Kyrie. Kyrie, from what we hear, they want to play together. Will KD go to Brooklyn?
No, they won't go to Brooklyn because look, you said it. I'm not repeating them. You said it. It's not the same, and I don't care what no one said. To me, the biggest difference of the Knicks and Nets, and this is the best way I can describe it in my own words. You feel when the Knicks lose, and you feel when the Knicks win. Brooklyn, you don't feel nothing.
Well, you're not a Brooklyn Nets fan either, though.
Sam, it's like Sam. Okay, here's the big example. Even when the Nets were in New Jersey, it wasn't the same. They still had trouble selling out arenas. They even when they went to the finals, when they had Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, all those guys, they still had trouble. Nobody's a Nets fan. It's that plain and simple. Nobody's a Net fan, and it's no knock on them, but it's just not the same. They're not the Knicks. When the Knicks are good, the NBA is literally different. When Linsanity was there for 2 weeks, the NBA was literally on fire. They're lucky this wasn't really big in the. The
only thing I can say to that, and I'm gonna get to Ant. The only thing I can say to that is we wouldn't really know over the last 2 decades whether or not the NBA is different with the Knicks being very, very good. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna feel different to us because the Knicks are relevant. It's gonna feel different to us, but are they really? Does it really matter to the NBA? You know, we won't know until the Knicks really are that good. If the ratings increase and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure it will because there's going to be so many more New Yorkers watching the games. So the ratings should increase. We'll see. Ant, what do you think, man?
Sam, man, listen, I've been wanting to talk about this, man, since yesterday because, I was on Twitter, man. I was on the front lines fighting for the Knicks, man. Mm-hmm. I was arguing with everybody on Twitter because, man, listen, so if you have a 3-year-old child and a 1-year-old child, right? Mm-hmm. And your 3-year-old child can read, but your 1-year-old child can't read, you're not going to point at your 1-year-old child and blame them for not reading like the 3-year-old. I have a point with that. The Nets and Knicks were both in rebuild mode, right? The Nets started their rebuild about 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they were terrible. Kenny Atkinson was the coach. Sean Marks was the GM, and they were a terrible basketball team, right? Why are we judging the 17-win Knicks who just started their rebuild and comparing them to the Nets who are in year 3-4 of their rebuild? It's not a fair comparison. And we keep seeing it for people to make the point that the Knicks are dysfunctional. Look how the Nets are doing. Look how the Nets done so much stupid stuff. They signed Alan Crabb to this big contract and then traded 2 first-round picks to get rid of him. Like that's if Steve Mills did that, he would have got dragged.
That's true,
man. So it's not fair, man. But nobody cares about the Nets. Let's keep it a buck. Kevin Durant is not going to Brooklyn, and my main reason for saying Kevin Durant is not going to Brooklyn is because they did this all wrong. The fact that they made it look like it's Kyrie's, team, right? It looks like Kyrie is going to take over Brooklyn. Now, if Kevin Durant goes, it looks like he's following Kyrie Irving. That's going to be the perception. Kevin Durant can't afford to follow anybody else. He either stays in Golden State or he goes somewhere and brings somebody with him. I don't think anybody's signing before Kevin Durant signs. Once Kevin Durant signs with the Knicks, I will be hard-pressed to believe that Kyrie Irving is going to turn around and sign with the Nets. I just don't see it happen. I think it's a lot of smoke. I think it's a lot of the media, wanting to prop up the Nets because it's fun to poo-poo the Knicks. It's funny to talk about the Knicks and how bad they are, and Jim Dolan, which I don't even know why he's a point of conversation. Jim Dolan hasn't even talked in months. So why do people keep finding a reason to bring up Jim Dolan? True. It's just boring, old, dead narratives that they try to use to make the Knicks look bad. And the Nets are not this model franchise. The difference between the Nets and the Knicks last year is the Knicks young star tore his ACL. That's the difference. If Porzingis played a full year last year healthy, the Knicks can win 25, 30 games. And do we look at the Nets and Knicks as so far apart at that point? No, we don't. But people don't like to use context. It wasn't the Knicks' fault Porzingis tore his ACL. There's nothing they could have did about that. So, man, the Knicks, man, listen, if Kevin Durant doesn't come to New York, he's not going to Brooklyn. I know that for a fact. Brooklyn, their three little fans on Twitter can talk all the junk they want, can poke out their chest. Man, you know what, Tim? The only Brooklyn Net fans in New York are the New York Daily News writers. They're the fans. Because the other ones don't exist. So, man, I'm not worried about the Nets, man. I think come July 1st, man, when they got to really sign over the next 4 or 5 years of their life to a franchise, I don't think they're doing it in Brooklyn. Because why go to Brooklyn when you can go to New York and get the whole city? The Knicks own Brooklyn too, so you can get Brooklyn playing for the Knicks too. It's stupid.
All right. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense right there. There's still, I'm pretty positive, there's still more Knicks fans in Brooklyn than there are Brooklyn Nets fans in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Brooklyn belongs to the Knicks.
Yeah, so, I feel you. All right, let me get to a phone call, then I'm going to come to you, Nate. Let me get to the phone call. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin', my man?
Hey, what's up, Sim?
I'm good. What's poppin' with you?
Nothing.
I mean,
no, the guy on the video chat just before me.
Uh-huh.
That guy hit the nail on the head. Everything he said was accurate.
That's Aunt G. That's Aunt G. Used to come into the chat rocking the crown,
Yeah, well, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, the Nets, we got rid of our two worst contracts on our books and got 2 first-round picks, and all we had to do was add in a guy who didn't want to be here, who's on a torn ACL, who isn't playing all year. I mean, the Nets literally got rid of their future just to get Kyrie and maybe Katie. It's like, and like it doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, we'll see how it works. Listen, I feel like though. I mean, I agree with you. They got rid of their immediate future, at least. And big shout out to Chester for the super chat. He asked the question, and I wonder the same thing. How can the Nets trade 2 first-round picks in back-to-back years? Right, so I'd have to dig a little bit.
I think one of the picks isn't theirs. That's the only way I think they could do it.
Right, one of those picks may not be theirs.
They acquired.
That's what I'm thinking. One of those picks are an acquired pick. We'll have to look into it a little bit.
They can't trade 2 back-to-backs if they were both theirs.
Right. So one of them would have to be somebody else's picks. I mean, look. What can we say, man? It's going to be a battle all summer long. As
I don't even know. I think we're all like the guy said before. I think it's like it'd be hilarious to see KD wait like 3 weeks to sign, just to watch all these teams waiting to pull the trigger. Because, like he said, nobody's signing until after KD signs.
Well, that's true.
He's gonna be, he could sit out for 2 weeks and then sit in a house somewhere, Hamptons or whatever, and these teams are gonna be up there with, showgirls and dancing monkeys. They're gonna be fawning after him. So, I mean.
Yeah, I get you. I hear what you're saying, man.
I don't want KD and Kyrie. I just think that's just the stupidest combo ever. That's a guy with a hurt knee and a guy who's missed 3 weeks and 2 series with a mystery calf injury that looked like an Achilles on TV.
Yeah, well,
So
we're going to see how it goes, man.
Honestly, I wouldn't touch KD with it. Like, somebody's got to go and put down some medicals on what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Before I would touch him. I think everybody dodged a bullet.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to talk a little bit later. We're about to move and transition into this draft thing. We're going to talk a little bit later about, the possibilities of assigning some other people. I appreciate the call, man.
All right. No, thank you very much. Have a good night.
No doubt. Peace. All right. So I do want to get to Nate because I know Nate has something to say, and then I'm pretty sure someone else is going to want to call in and have something to say. 516-405-2246. You can give me a call. All right. Nate.
Yeah, man.
I know you've been wanting to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, this whole talk about Brooklyn, New York, it just reminds me of, big brother, little brother situation.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks are the big brother. The Nets have always been the little brother. And it seems like the little brothers, always trying to match what the big brother does. In my opinion, when the Knicks cleared all this cap space, they were getting all the attention because now they could sign 2 max slots. Before that wasn't possible. So the Nets, all the Nets want to do is they just want to be in the talk of summer of this year. That's really what I feel like they're doing is they just want to be in the discussion. Now, it looks very, very serious that they are courting Kyrie very hard, which is fine. They should, just like the Knicks are courting KD because KD is their first option. Kyrie is not our first option, and nor should be our first option. KD, it literally goes this way. KD, Kawhi, and that's it. We stop after that.
Okay.
To where the Nets, their KD is going to be Kyrie. Like, it's going to be Kyrie and then a low-tier player to maybe match put with him if they don't re-sign D'Lo.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm just gonna say, because I want to get to this phone call. I'm just gonna say, I'm not taking the Nets lightly. At the point that they've traded to clear cap space,
sure,
right now, and we still have, we still got 12 days left until free agency begins. They didn't do it for nothing. They didn't do it. They traded they traded their first round pick this year. A first round pick next year may not be theirs. One of them may not, I'm not sure which one, but one of them is not theirs, of course. But you gave away 2 first round picks.
Well, let me ask you this question real quick, and then you can go to the call.
You know something.
Well, let me ask you this question real quick, and you go to the call. If they get Kyrie, do you fear the Nets?
Do I fear the Nets? I don't think. Well, I'm gonna say this. I think they probably have the same mindset as the Knicks. We're not just gonna go get 1. We're gonna go get 2, and if we don't get 2 top tier free agents, we'll take another route. That's what I think. I don't think they're just gonna go get Kyrie.
Yeah. I just think New York's thinking bigger than the Nets because the Nets know that they can't lure a Kawhi or a KD to their place. So that's why they're thinking Kyrie being the 3rd best option. Hey, let's get something. And then, like I said, maybe we pair Tobias Harris. Maybe we go get a Jimmy Butler or something like that to play with Kyrie. To whereas the Knicks are going to look at bigger fish. They're going to look at KD. They're going to look at Kawhi. And if they don't get those 2 dudes, then they're going to sit pat and say, hey, let's continue to go.
We'll see
the path.
Okay. All right. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's going on, Sim? This is your man, Rob the Knick.
Rob the Knick. It's been a minute, man. Yeah, it's been a while. How you been?
I've been good. It's these kids. You got to deal with them. Had to shut it down a little bit. I got custody of 1.
Okay.
And then, it just was interesting. I just had, but I've been keeping up with the show, though, bro. I don't miss no episodes.
I appreciate that.
Martin had an aneurysm. I done seen that, and I've seen a lot more. And I miss y'all, but I got everything back in line. Summer coming.
Okay. All right. Well, family's always number one.
Yeah,
it's
now I can
always
bring
number
my
one.
daughter in the fold. Now I can bring my daughter in the fold over the summer.
All right.
And then now we can watch it together because she had a couple of comments when she used to come every other weekend.
Okay.
But now, so she understands like what it is. So it's going to be a summer of her learning, and then she getting involved. So, I got another Knicks fan on the way, and we definitely going to be up there for opening day.
All right.
At the game.
All right. It's nice to hear. Nice to hear.
Is it kid friendly?
Oh yeah, of course.
Like 16.
It's kid friendly, man. My daughter was there last year. She was there both for opening night as well as MLK. It's kid friendly without a doubt.
Okay, no doubt. Okay. So now this is what I want to say about this. I think that thing with Kyrie is a smokescreen. He had a bad series. I think his people put that out there with the Brooklyn Nets to drop off his value of what we're gonna pay him. KD coming. I really feel as though KD coming, but he doesn't want to. Everybody just and I really don't hold him to the fault of what really happened in Boston. There was a lot more situations that I was looking at that he just fell into. But I'm thinking that he's thinking this summer he's going to get lowballed because of the playoffs. So this narrative, the Nets you can use in any other kind of way. And I think Ant was hitting it on every cylinder. The King was hitting it on every cylinder when he first got on about it, because I was getting ready to say the same thing. But now I just want to talk about the reason why I think so, because he had a bad playoff. He had an all right season, and then it kind of looked like he gave up with Boston. I think it was more frustration with the coaching and everything else that was going on. So I think that his people put this card out there with Brooklyn, because even stupid Stephen A., he couldn't verify that it was true, but he put it out there too. And it's like, I think that he had a bad playoff, and he had a really bad playoff, and I think that his value is down. So if you want to use New York, we smart now. Brooklyn just did. If you really look at what Brooklyn just did, that's that dumb stuff that we would have done. 2 first-round picks for crap. No, you eat that one. Brooklyn been doing it right up until today. When you did that crab, that's a crab move. You gave up 2 first rounds just to get involved, so you let his people talk you into something. That's what I'm looking at. I might be wrong, but me just looking in on 50 years experience, I'm thinking that his people played them. And it's going to show when they get there, because now we're going to have to deal with him in a different way, because he's going to be throwing to the table, oh, well, Brooklyn is going to do this for me. KD is the prize. Kyrie is the secondary prize. And I think by like 30, Kyrie may be the point guard that he needs to be. He may be a 1A at 30, 29, 30. But he got health issues. He got things like that. So I'm thinking that his people, and this is just me, I don't know anything, but me just knowing basketball and just see how this free agency thing goes and how people use people, I think that his people put that out there. Okay, yeah, Brooklyn, and then, and so Brooklyn done sold their homes for him, and at the end of the day, I think that he just want more money from us. And I really think that, look, I think that we should give Brooklyn him and take D'Angelo, because he fits more in the mold with our young players without us tearing down the whole thing. Because if we get Kyrie with the knee, we already got Durant, we don't know how this thing is going to be. Hopefully he don't play, in this series, and he got the summer to recover. But we can let him go. You know what I'm saying? Even let him go just on GP, and let the Nets get him, and you gave up those picks, and then we still got the Dallas pick. We doing this thing smart. Like you said, no need to sell a farm now. No need to even get hot about anything. Okay, yo, that's what they did. Y'all free up this money? Okay, that's a dumb move in itself. What you going to get at the end, because our plan B is to stick with the rebuild. If we can't do that, stick with the rebuild. Let the Nets have that shine. Brooklyn Nets have that shine for a year, too. But now we know guarantee 2 injured players that can be injured at any time. And we keep on with these young guns that don't get hurt.
Okay.
And add to that part. Try to get KD. Look, I would try to get Anthony Davis. Hey, even if KD falls into the madness of that, yo, set it up for AD. Then we still got Barrett. They would love to put that together, and it would cost us less to get 1 piece instead of 2, and still let our pieces develop. Because that's important to me, the development of these players.
Right. All right. Hey, you know what? Well, I'm pretty sure the Knicks got a plan A, B, C, D, and E, and what you're talking about is probably one of them. Hey, Rob, I want to get through this. Start talking about this draft. All right. Hey, congratulations, man. I just want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You said you got custody of one of your daughters. So that's definitely a big congratulations in my book, because, I understand, I got a lot of friends that are dealing with those same type of things, man. So I understand, and I dealt with it myself, so I understand what that's like. So, definitely congratulations, man.
Look, it's most appreciated, but it wasn't like in my situation, she didn't have a bad mom. She just didn't get along with her mom, and her mom knew how to let go just to save the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good parenting on both parts, man. That's good.
Yeah, we try. We black and we try.
That's it.
But look,
all right, brother.
Here, I'm gonna try to fix this thing up so I can come to the chat. Look for me.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. All right. Peace.
Peace. All right.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on. New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets will be battling in the offseason, but before we get to the offseason, we have a draft to worry about. The New York Knicks will be picking 3rd in this year's draft. Now, we covered a couple of guys the other day, and then my audio started acting crazy. And I apologize about that. But the audio is straight, and we're going to get back to it. So I'm going to go back a little bit and talk about RJ Barrett. And we're going to start from there. Because that's about the time when the audio started acting funny. Started acting a little fugazi on me, and I was getting mad. Right? So we're going to get ahead. We're going to talk about RJ Barrett. And maybe we're not going to talk about RJ Barrett because... There we go. Now we're going to talk about RJ Barrett. I don't know what I just did. I do know what I just did, but there we go. RJ Barrett. This is the consensus guy that everybody says the New York Knicks are going to draft. RJ Barrett. Right? He's not a native New Yorker. He's from Canada. And some people say Canadian basketball players are soft. This, that, whatever. They point to Andrew Wiggins, right? But listen, the professionals, the analysts, the experts, they all say this guy's the real deal. And that he belongs in New York. And that he should be in New York. That he wants New York. And that New York should want him. It's RJ Barrett. And you can see his ratings on the screen. He's averaged 22.8 points per game, 7.7 rebounds per game, 4.1 assists per game. He shot 45.7% from the field, 31.3% from 3. Obviously, in the NBA, he's going to have to improve that 3-point shooting. Now, he's used to playing on a big stage. Shared a spotlight with a couple of other Dookies, right? Cameron Reddish and, of course, Zion Williamson, who's likely going to go number 1 to the New Orleans Pelicans. He's 18 years old. He's 6'7", 202 pounds, got a 6'9" wingspan. He actually could have been a senior in high school this year and would be coming into the NCAA next year. He actually could have been a senior. Right? When you look at this young man's physical strengths, his physical profile, and I'm sure you guys were able to see the picture that was on Twitter, Instagram, wherever it was. You were able to see it and see, he was up dunking, and you could see the kid has a strong body, strong enough so that he can finish through contact. He has speed. It's all around defense. Not to say that he can't improve his defense, but he's an all around defender. His weaknesses: consistent shooting, shot selection. He's got to work on his right hand. But all of these so-called weaknesses are things that most young players deal with. Consistent shooting, shot selection, right hand. And guess what? That shot selection goes a lot into consistent shooting. So you could take those two and put them together. Fix his shot selection, his shooting may become a little bit more consistent. We can see a little bit more about RJ Barrett. Now, I don't agree with their NBA comparisons, really. They say DeMar DeRozan. I'm not sure if that's if I fully agree with DeMar DeRozan. Chris Middleton, I don't know if I agree with Chris Middleton for sure. Best landing spot according to lineups. And of course, again, big shout out to lineups.com. You can go to lineups.com, check out the NBA draft guide. Best landing spot, New York. They also say Phoenix. But New York, I think most people agree, New York is his best landing spot. Now, to his credit, he just wants to play in the NBA. He doesn't care where it is. New York, Pelicans, he wants to be in the NBA. It's RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. It's RJ Barrett. And I think we did have a small conversation with the guys in the chat about RJ Barrett. And I'm sure there's some guys that want to get in and say a little bit more. And I'm going to get to the phone lines. I'm going to get back to the phone lines shortly. All right. I got someone here. I'm going to put him on hold. My man, I'm going to put you on hold for a little bit. All right. So I can finish talking about RJ Barrett. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask you about RJ Barrett. All right. I don't know. Listen, like I just said, he doesn't care where he plays in the NBA. And he impressed me when I seen him on the jump the other day. When he said, my dream is just to be in the league. I want to be in the NBA. Doesn't matter where I play. I feel that. I like that. I like hearing that from a young player. That tells me that he has the proper perspective. Has the proper perspective. Talking about RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about RJ Barrett. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can stay updated on everything that we do here with Nothing But Knicks. If you want to put a down payment on tickets, lounge tickets for NBK opening night, you can do so. Go to my website, nothingbutnicks.com. You see it at the top of your screen. All right. Subscribe to the channel. You can become a VIP member so you can get, when tickets go on sale, when I have other prizes and those things, you can be the first one to be notified. Have a podcast that'll be coming out pretty soon on that VIP. If you become a VIP member, same thing. You can go to nothingbutnicks.com, become a VIP member. If not, it's cool. I get it. Still going to get this same show for free. It's always going to be free. All right. Let me get back to my caller here. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin', man?
What's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. We're talking about RJ Barrett right now. Finishing up this New York Knicks draft special. We're talking about RJ Barrett, who is the consensus number 3 pick for the New York Knicks. And what do you think? How do you feel about him?
I think Besides Zion, he's the best player in the draft, first of all.
Okay.
Besides Zion, he's number 2 in my boys. And I really like this kid. I saw he was on First Take, I think it was yesterday. And I really like the stuff, how he handles Stephen A. and Max Kellerman. Stuff saying he's built for this, that he don't feel there's no pressure going into the league. So I really enjoy like what he's saying.
Yeah, and I do. Yeah. He said there's no pressure going in. As a matter of fact, the thing that he said on the jump is they asked him about pressure playing at the guard or whatever. Oh no, I'm sorry. They asked him about pressure playing in a Duke versus North Carolina game. He said there is no pressure. This is basketball. Pressure is when you can't eat. I was impressed by that as well. You know, I'm not sure if he has experience with that or not, but I was impressed by it nonetheless. I do want to make a quick response to Troy Flett, I think it was in the YouTube chat. He said RJ Barrett will not work out for Memphis, so obviously he does care. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm sure he does care. He wants to go somewhere, right? But would be happy going anywhere. That's what I take from it. He wants to be in New York, but if he lands someplace else, he'll be happy. He'll make the best of it. He'll enjoy his time there. And, just be happy that it's in the league. That's what I take from it. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I believe his preferred destination, of course, is New York. I think any player will want to play in New York. But if Memphis takes him, he's not going to cause no trouble. He's going to suit up and play.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about that.
Right. It's like I went to get some Puma Clydes, some suede Puma Clydes. I wanted some orange and blue ones, but they didn't have them. I couldn't get them. So I was happy to get white with orange. I was cool with it. It was like, okay, I can rock with these. I was just happy to get them.
Yeah.
You feel me? You know what I mean?
I didn't know. He said that he's right-handed. I didn't know that.
No, he's left-handed. He's left-handed.
No. Yeah, he's left-handed, but he was on First Take, and he told Stephen A. Smith that he is right-handed.
Okay, all right.
That he's made it this far just with his left hand, but he is right-handed, and okay. I didn't know that.
So I didn't know that either.
I want to see it when he gets in the NBA. See if he does have this right hand, because he's telling people that he is right-handed.
Okay, all right.
But if you could just on your how you say supposedly offhand is his left, and he's doing all this, I can't wait to see what
happens when he can
Yeah.
develop that right hand and be able to use the right and left hand equally. That'd be something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I know LeBron James is left-handed too, but he plays with his right hand.
Okay. And listen,
LeBron does everything with his left hand off the court.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, there's a lot of people who believe that RJ Barrett is the second best player in this draft. A lot of people believe he's the first, the best player in the draft. Memphis may feel the same way and want to take him. How do you feel about that?
If they take him, I think it's a good idea. I think if I was Memphis, I would take RJ. Because he's bigger than Morant, stronger. I think he's a better shooter too, because Morant does struggle from the outside. And we say RJ is this ball hog, but when you open the NBA with the NBA spacing, with him having shooters on the court, he's going to be able to find people. He's going to break down the defense, get to the rim, and find people.
Yeah.
So if I was Memphis, I would seriously think about taking him. But I think they're in direction of going. They had Mike Conley. They want a young point guard. Morant's there. They probably take Morant. But if they do pass on Morant, I'll take Morant. No problem. He has this little knee injury. No big deal. Just cleaning it out. I'm still happy.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate your call, bro. Glad you called in. And I look forward to hearing more from you, man.
Yeah, we'll do. I just want to say shout out to you, Sam. I've listened for a long time. Great show. And I checked out the Front Stoop. Also a great show. People need to check that out.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man. We'll be doing it every Thursday. Hopefully, I'll get to a point. Got a lot of basketball practice and games and things like that, so it comes on a little bit late. Hopefully, we'll get to a point where we can get it on a little bit earlier so people can come check it out. But yeah, we have a lot of fun on there. Talk about some good issues, some serious issues, and then sometimes we're just talking about music and having a good time. So yeah, it's good.
Sam, one more thing. Just
yeah.
This thing with Brooklyn, we need to start taking them serious. We need to.
I agree with you.
Because we saying that they're the little brothers. Look at the Clippers. They're the little brothers to the Lakers, but supposedly Kawhi Leonard is going there. So this little brother thing, don't sleep on it. Because if Kyrie really says, I'm going to Brooklyn, he's his own man. We've seen he's his own man. He does what he wants to do. If he wants to go to Brooklyn, he goes to Brooklyn. KD looks around like, where's everybody else? He'll just go back to the Warriors if they lose. You need to watch out for Brooklyn. This is not this little brother thing. Keep an eye out.
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, my man.
All right.
All right. Appreciate the call, bro. Peace.
Thank you.
All right. So that's RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. RJ Barrett. And I am going to... Well, you know what? The video chat, we talked about RJ Barrett in this video chat. I'm sure some guys are going to circle back. Let's look at who's next on the list. So right now, lineups.com, and I encourage you to go out and check out lineups.com, has DeAndre Hunter going number 4 to the Lakers. See, I disagree there. I think that the Lakers may be more interested in someone like Jarrett Culver. I know I'm more interested in Jarrett Culver than DeAndre Hunter. It's my opinion. But we'll look at DeAndre Hunter. I do not think the Knicks are going to be as interested in DeAndre Hunter. I think that the Knicks are much more interested in Jarrett Culver. So we're going to talk about Jarrett Culver in just a second. We'll go over DeAndre Hunter. Right, 6'7", 21 years old, 225 pounds, got a 7'2" wingspan. Now, he's got some long arms. Listen, I'm not saying that the kid is not a baller. He can play. I'm not saying that. I just don't think that the Knicks have that kind of interest in him right now. That's just my opinion. His basketball IQ is rated a 7. Shooting rated an 8. This is by lineups.com. Passing a 6. Dribbling a 6. Hustle is an 8. And his defense is a 9. He averaged 15.2 points per game. 5 rebounds a game. 2 assists per game. Shot 52.9% from the field, 44.5% from 3. Now, we do need shooters. We'll say that. We definitely need shooters. Definitely need shooters, right? Every team in the league today needs shooters. All right? It's not a flashy type of a guy. Not a flashy type of a guy. Great size for a small forward. You know, like we said, with his 7'2" wingspan. Offensively, he's a slasher. Doesn't have the quickest first step, but he can shoot all over the floor. As you can see, he shoots 44.6% from 3, 52.9% from the field. He has a lot of room to grow. Somebody's going to get a very good player. He's a versatile defender. These are his strengths now. A versatile defender, solid rebounder, especially on the offensive end, and an efficient shooter. And the Knicks need efficient shooters. We were so bad last year shooting. I'm telling you. It's terrible. It's horrible. Right? Weaknesses, he's not a playmaker. He's not a ball handler. See, I think the Knicks, in my opinion, like wings that have the ability to be playmakers and ball handlers. Now, and this is one of the reasons, and I know Nate has said it, I believe it. I know a lot of you guys have said it. I really do wish that free agency came before the draft, because then we know what type of player we want to try to plug in. You know? But that's DeAndre Hunter. You know, we'll take a look, see a little bit more of DeAndre Hunter. According to lineups.com, his best landing spot is likely the Atlanta Hawks. I do not know if he falls that low unless Atlanta finds a way to move up. Right, his draft range is somewhere around 6 to 10. They have him at 4 to the Lakers. I don't think he goes 4 to the Lakers. NBA comparison is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi can be a little bit more of a playmaker. Nonetheless, this guy's he's going to be a good, solid NBA player, I think. Now let's get to Jarrett Culver. Man, guys, I like Jarrett Culver. I watched him at Texas Tech, and I was like, man, I like this kid. I do like Jarrett Culver. I'm not going to lie to you. Is he going to be the Knicks pick at 3? No, probably not. But I like him. And I think the Knicks like him as well. I think that the Knicks like him as well, which is one of the reasons why they worked him out. Because they do like Jarrett Culver. But there's no way, in my opinion, that I think the Knicks take him at number 3. But we will see what kind of stuff that the Knicks work out, what goes on in the offseason. Anyway, Jarrett Culver averaged 18.8 points per game. 6.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists per game. Shot 48.5% from the field, 33.1% from the three-point line. All right? Now, like they're saying right here on lineups.com, several freshmen were making bigger splashes than him throughout the season and in most mock drafts. And you know who we're talking about. You know who we're talking about. But he had a breakout season as a sophomore. He's 6'6". His strengths, listen, he has an NBA-ready game. He's a smart decision maker. He can play the pick and roll as the pick and roll ball handler. He has a good, nice, natural feel for the game. And these are things that I've seen while I was watching him play. And, of course, he's a defender. They left that off as his strengths. I don't understand why. He is a defender. He's a good defender. And we're going to listen to him in a minute. His weaknesses, they say his jump shot needs some work. I would agree with that. He shot 33.1% from 3. They say he's not an elite athlete, but did you see how high the kid jumped? I mean, he may not have, all of this talent to go around and do all these wild things with the basketball, but that kid can jump out his elbow was above the rim. It's crazy. They say his weaknesses, another weakness is, he can make mistakes defensively, but he has the tools and the potential to be a solid wing defender. And listen, the kid likes defense. That's what he's about. He likes defense. And for the Knicks, we need defenders. We need guys that want to play defense. Nate speaks about this a lot. And I'm going to get to the chat to talk about Jarrett Culver a little bit. But Nate talks about this a lot. That if we're going to start really building with these young guys and we say that we're going to hang our hat on defense, and I know you guys just seen me do the Obama politician thing here. I don't know why I did that. But if we're going to hang our hat on defense, then guess what? We need guys that want to play defense. But I'm not ready to say that RJ Barrett can't be a good defender, though. He has the size and the talent and the ability. But Jarrett Culver already wants to do it. That does make a difference. Let's listen to Jarrett Culver. It's about a 5-minute video. And we're going to listen to it. You guys will be able to see it. Listen to him talk about his workout with the New York Knicks that just happened. Let's check this out.
Get a chance to talk to Fizdale or Steve Mills, Scott Perry.
Yeah, I got to talk to everybody on the coaching staff, so it was good.
What are you trying to show them, and how confident that you might be the best guard in this draft are you?
Yeah, I could come in and make an impact, defense and offense. I feel like I'm an elite two-way player, so just having that, I feel like I come in and make an impact.
Is the defense, you think, something that separates you from some of the other guys that would be taken in this area?
I think so for sure. Nowadays, it's hard to find people who take pride in defense, but I'm one of them. I take pride in defense. Being at Texas Tech taught me a lot, so I just feel like on the defensive side, I'm elite.
When you went up against R.J. Barrett one-on-one, not one-on-one, but at the Garden, what did you take from that matchup?
He's a great player. Their whole team, they had a great team, so I mean, it's great. It's always great for like a team like Texas Tech to play against a big team like Duke.
He's a guy that's obviously, you look at a lot of mock drafts, he's slated here too. I mean, when you, if you look and you compare your game to his game, I mean, what are the things that stand out to you in terms of how different you guys are?
Yeah, I feel like we great players, both of us. He has a lot of talent. I have a lot of talent, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's not our choice where we go. It's for everybody else to choose. So I mean, we just put in the work. I know he's working hard. I'm working hard. So I mean, that's what it is.
You got a taste of the Garden, I guess. So what was your thoughts about working out for the Knicks, and if you were to play at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, it's always special. The Garden's iconic. Just to be able to be out there and play in there, I mean, that'd be a dream. But I mean, it's not my choice at the end of the day. But I mean, it's great out here in New York. I played in the Garden twice, so I mean, it was great to play there.
Was this a group workout or individual?
It was an individual workout.
Have you been doing group workouts, just individuals?
I just had 2 so far, and I just did individual.
Who were the 2?
Lakers?
Lakers, and then here.
Oh, so this is the second one.
Second one.
When you look at like mock drafts, everybody's got these same 1, 2, 3. Do you feel in your head that you belong in that group that does?
I try not to look at them. I just do what I can do and control what I can control. What other people think and say, that's not in my control. So at the end of the day, I'll put in the work I put in, and I mean, I'm gonna do what I do.
You have a lot of workouts left before the draft.
I got about 3 more left.
Can you say who you're working out for?
I got Phoenix, Cleveland, Chicago.
You have the ability, obviously, to create your own shot. But what do you think you need to work at on the next level? What's the one thing you want to work at?
Just making sure, first off, I'm able to play on the defensive side, and then there's just a lot more space, so be able to create, make plays for my teammates much more. I feel like I could be great in that, just watching film and learning from other players.
In your conversations with the Knicks today, did anything stand out? They want to see next year, the way they want to play with you, or anything like that?
Yeah, just being an elite two-way player. I mean, just they know what I have, they know what I can do, so I feel like just talking to the coaching staff and everybody here, I just feel like it's great. I can come in and make an impact on both sides of the ball.
Was part of that having played as long as you did play in the 2 years, which a lot of guys are just one and done?
For sure. Being at Tech for the 2 years, it definitely matured me. Just being a leader on that team and being able to help my teammates out and use my experience to help everybody on the team out.
How exciting is this time for you going through this process and knowing that this is going to be a dream come true for you?
It's very exciting. It's a blessing for sure. I got here first off with God and a lot of hard work. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a blessing.
What do you think you'll be able to do right away? Like, where can you contribute as a rookie?
Yeah, first thing, I feel like I come in, play defense, make an impact on the defensive side of the ball, and then very talented on offense, a 3-level scorer. So I feel like it's a lot more space, and that'll benefit me in the league.
How's the jumper coming along?
It's coming along great. Just working on it every day, making sure I get adjusted to the 3 pull-ups and everything. So, I mean, I'm just working hard on it, and it's coming along great.
Did you have dinner with these guys last night, or were you just in today for the workout?
I'm going to have dinner with them later tonight.
Any thoughts on the roster? Have you known any of the guys, and just on your thoughts on the Knicks roster?
Yeah, a lot of talented guys. I mean, it'd be great to play some of the talented guys. I actually played with Mitchell Robinson, AAU. And I mean, they got a lot of talented guys that's here in New York, and I feel like they're going to be a great team.
Did Mitch's season here surprise you at all? Because he caught some people off guard, Knicks fans off guard with what he was able to do.
Yeah, for me, it surprised me. I played with him, and what he did this year is kind of what he was doing. And I played with him, just blocking every shot, being athletic. I mean, he's a great player.
You were on the same AU squad or against him?
I was on the same AAU team as him.
Did anything about this workout or anything with the visit with the Knicks kind of stand out to you as opposed to where you've been so far?
Only being one other place, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's great to be out here in New York. LA and New York, it's kind of 2 different sides, but I mean, it's just great to be out here, honestly.
All right, you heard him. I think that was a great interview by the young man. I like a lot of the things that I heard from him. And listen, I'm excited for whatever team gets this young man because I think he's going to be a good professional. I'm not ready to say if he's going to be an all-star, this or that, or whatever, but I'm encouraged by the things that I hear from him. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks ended up somehow with Jarrett Culver. I don't know if I'm taking them 3 over RJ Barrett. I would be afraid to, but if something happened, the Knicks, some kind of wild trade things happened, the Knicks ended up with number 4 or ended up with Jarrett Culver somehow, I would not be mad because I like the kid. I really do. I like the kid. And as a bonus, he played with Mitchell Robinson. He played with Mitchell Robinson on AAU. That's a bonus. I like that. He's a defender. Him, Mitchell Robinson, guarding the wing, guarding the paint. But look, we'll see what happens there. But I like the kid. I want to talk about him. Let me see who we got. We got Big Freezy that just joined us. Big shout out to my man Big Freezy for just joining us. All right. I want to, we're going to get to Freezy. Freezy was on the front stoop with us last night. You know what I mean? And had some great conversations. Freezy, I'm coming to you, bro. What's good, man? What do you think about Jarrett Culver?
Hey, man, I like Jarrett Culver a lot. I think the NBA comp to him, and I know people are going to clown me, but I think the NBA comp for Jarrett Culver is Damian Dotson, because they're around the same. They play the same style. People want the kid Jarrett Culver to be more explosive and all that stuff, but he does the same thing that Dot does. Good team player, hard worker, never gives up. Is going to make the right pass. Is going to be assertive in situations that allow him to be assertive. He won't be passive. But I just don't see him being a great scorer against good defenders. And the reason why I say that is because if you saw the championship game when DeAndre Hunter had him head up and Ty Jerome had him head up, he was neutralized and didn't know where to go with the ball. Part of that is game planning, but part of that too is just being stalled by a player of equal or greater talent. So.
Okay. He's a sophomore.
Yep.
Is he a guy that you think can learn some of those things? Can expand his game and understand, learn to understand the game a little bit better, learn to create for himself a little bit better? Is he a kid you think can do that?
Well, I think going to the right situation, he could probably be a potential all-star. But going to a lottery team, I don't see him developing. You know what I'm saying? Because even if he takes a step forward and creates the right play, the guy that he's playing with is just as young. And if that person doesn't do, is not improved, then what do you have really? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations where I think the situation definitely. For instance, if Jarrett Culver goes to say a Charlotte Hornets and plays with Kemba Walker, now you have a guy at the 2 playing with a seasoned vet that's an all-star that can learn. The vet will cover up for his mistakes until he's ready. But if you're talking about Jarrett Culver coming to New York playing alongside of Dennis Smith Jr., I don't think you'll get the best out of him. You know what I'm saying? Because Jarrett Culver doesn't have like an elite skill. Like basically he's a jack of all trades, and people don't want to necessarily admit to that. But he's probably a jack of all trades. Like he's going to get you a handful of rebounds, handful of assists, decent scoring, decent defense. But he's not going to wow you with he's not going to wow you as a shooter. He's not going to wow you as a defender. I mean, not as a defender, but an athlete. He'll be a really good defender, but he's not a great athlete. He's not a good shooter. I would say if I'm in a Knicks situation, I definitely just stay focused on RJ, and then if the opportunity presents itself, then I would have to weigh my options between him and say a Cam Reddish or a DeAndre Hunter. But Culver is a great player. I think he's going to have more upside than Dotson, in my opinion. But in terms of player type, I think that's the type of player that he'll be. And if he's more assertive offensively than Dotson, then I can see him really contributing, being a solid contributor for. You know what? He'll be the solid vet, the dude that's in the league for like 14, 15 years, in my opinion, and with good production.
Okay. All right. And I know we didn't, I'm not looking at this guy coming to the Knicks at all. I don't think that, he's on the Knicks list. But what do you think about DeAndre Hunter?
Sim, I love him, Sim. I love him. And so I think he can probably. I think defense is an overrated thing now coming out of the draft, but DeAndre Hunter has the potential to be the guy in the mold of DeMarre Carroll, Jay Crowder, Kawhi Leonard type in that mold where they can guard. You have a 230-pound guy that can guard multiple positions, say 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. Somebody that can knock down 3s for you, maybe carry the scoring load in small spurts. I like the kid. The only thing I'm concerned is if you draft him and you have a Kevin Knox, then what do you do with Knox? Because I see DeAndre Hunter as progressing really fast, because he's already 21 years old. And he's already played a lot of high leverage games, won a national championship, played in the ACC. I think if the Knicks get a guy like that, then you definitely have to do something with Knox, because the learning curves would be different. For instance, I think DeAndre Hunter can contribute on any team, whether it's a rookie team, a vet team, playoff contender, championship team, whatever. Because he's always had a defined role, and he excels in those defined roles. I mean, he can literally defend top guys from day one he's got huge hands, pretty good athlete, 6'7", 230, got that build like Kawhi, underrated athlete. I think he'll probably be one of the steals of this draft, especially if he goes to a place that focuses on developing rookies.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Did you see his defense on Culver? Did you see him lock up Culver?
I seen his defense. I seen his defense, man.
Yeah.
I seen his defense.
The dude is legit. The dude is legit. And I'm trying not to say that the guy is going to be an all-star, but the dude is legit, man. I think the cat is going to be something special.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think whoever gets him is going to get a hell of a player. Right. Yeah. Hey, let me get around. Let me get back to you, Freeze. Let me get around and
all right.
Talk to some of these other guys. Let me see. Guillermo. I'm coming to you, Guillermo.
Sir.
Hey, Guillermo.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Jared Culver, man?
Jared Culver, he's a decent player. There's been a run of these threes, these athletic threes who could defend. And they haven't been panning out, like Stanley Johnson, the kid from the one in Miami. I can't remember his name. He has the braids or the dreads or the locks, whatever. Josh Jackson, and I'm just not. Those guys are great system players. I think they go off and they become really good players, like role players later on. The dude from Florida, I can't remember his name. He used to play with the Rockets. He played on the Florida national team that won all the championships. Jakeem Noah and all those guys. Can't remember his damn name. Corey Brewer, thank you, Nate. Corey Brewer. Those guys, you don't draft those guys at number 3. You don't draft those guys in the top 10. Those are guys you draft into a system. You take the RJ Barretts, the guys who have the higher ceilings. And look, Jared Culver, I think he got kind of hot because of the tournament. And that's nothing to, I'm not scoffing at that, but I think he shot 31% from 3. Good defender play, but he's not really dynamic in terms of.
I think he actually started to move up. I mean, move up because of the combine. I think people started to see, some things with the combine. I think that's where he started to really move up.
Stay away from combine warriors. Stay away from combine. And I learned that from football. Stay away from combine warriors. Like, do not draft high because of them. Now, if someone comes up on the radar and maybe he's a second round pick, then fine, you take a gamble on him, right? But I'm sorry, after 3, this draft gets really weak. So I'm not really in favor of taking a guy like Jarrett Culver or the kid from Virginia. You take the RJ Barrett, you take Javi Foster, you take the talent with the higher ceiling, man. He's nice,
I agree with you. I think you definitely take RJ Barrett. I do feel like this guy is going to be good. There's something about
he's
him.
Not number one
I feel
guy.
like he's going to be good. I'm not saying he's number one guy. I'm not saying
I'm not saying you are saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but like I said, the Stanley Johnsons, the Corey Bruce, you've seen it when they got drafted by the original teams and it didn't pan out because we could really mold him. If he gets drafted by the Spurs, drafted by Toronto, drafted by these teams that know how to take raw talent, make them good, they show out defensively and then have them slash to the basket, slowly progress them along, fine. The Knicks, we're not at that level to be drafting somebody.
Okay.
Even if we had the 5th, 10th pick, whatever, I wouldn't touch him.
Okay. All right. I hear you on that. I think somebody, we'll see where he goes and what happens. I do think he's going to go to the Lakers at 4. That's what I think. I think he's going to go to the Lakers at 4.
Lakers at 4?
I do. I feel like he's going to go to the Lakers at 4. That's what I think. I think the Lakers going to take him.
You don't think the Lakers will go after some? I don't even know, Sim. I was going to say Bol, but I can't even call what the Lakers are going to do. But yeah.
That's what I think. I'm going to go on. I'm going to talk about Darius Garland. Right, even though the Knicks, I think we kind of know where the Knicks are going to go. But we're going to talk about Garland. We're going to talk about Cam Reddish. Right?
No, Sim.
The Knicks have the Knicks. I can hear you. I can hear you. The Knicks have brought in Cam Reddish, or at least are going to. Well, we know at the combine they spoke to him at the combine. He's one of the guys that they interviewed, and we'll see if they're going to bring him in for a workout. We know they're bringing in RJ Barrett for a workout, but we're going to talk about Cam Reddish. But I'm going to get to Garland first. Then I'm going to come back, see what you guys think about Garland, and then we're going to get to Cam Reddish because I know there's a lot of people that maybe feel like the Knicks, that he might be one of the guys that I think some people think that Cam Reddish should be in the conversation. I don't know, but I think there's some people that think he should be in the conversation. So I am going to get right to it again. If you guys haven't seen, I tell you one thing, even though Jarrett Culver may not be considered much of an athlete, the kid can jump. If you see, if you see his, what he did at the Lakers workout, it was something, So we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about Darius Garland right now, ladies and gentlemen. Guillermo, you're still live.
Yes, sir. Right,
you're still live. I just wanted to let you know that Darius Garland, 6'2", he's 19 years old, freshman from Vanderbilt, 175 pounds, 6'3" wingspan. Now, he averaged 16.2 points per game, 3.8 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists. His field goal percentage is 53.7%. His three-point percentage is 47.8%. Now, he's a guy that can shoot the rock. Yeah, we know he got hurt. And of course, that's what, let me ask you this, Guillermo. If he hadn't have gotten hurt, what do you think he would be? What do you think he would be rated in the draft if he hadn't got hurt?
If he didn't get hurt? He would probably still, because the NBA loves these scoring combo guards. They don't like the traditional point guard anymore. So I think he would have been over Ja, but I don't know if he would have been over RJ, if that makes sense. So that's tough.
Somebody may be getting a steal. And right now, the lineups.com has Darius Garland going number 7 to the Chicago Bulls.
Right? Who the other teams after the Lakers?
After the Lakers, I mean, you got Cleveland, you got Phoenix, you got the Bulls.
Phoenix might take him. No, Phoenix needs a point guard. Even though he's a scoring point guard, Phoenix, I think they're really in the need for someone to handle the rock. They want to take the ball out of Devin Booker's hands and make him a traditional 2 off-ball guard. So I can see Phoenix definitely going after Garland if he falls past, say, the Lakers and Cleveland. Even though I don't think the Cavaliers like Sexton as much, he did come along in the second half, but Sexton's just a very narrow playing point guard, and he doesn't have that shooting ability or scoring ability as good as Garland. But I think they're a little bit invested in him. So I think the Phoenix are not letting Garland get past him.
I agree with you. I think I agree with you. I think that lineups has Darius Garland getting passed over by Phoenix for Cam Reddish. They have Phoenix taking Cam Reddish. I might agree with you that they take Darius Garland because they do need a point guard, unless they feel like they're going to get a point guard in a trade somewhere.
I feel the Lakers are going to go after Cam Reddish. I think they'll take a chance on Cam Reddish because Cam Reddish the way they played Cam Reddish at Duke was not how he played in high school. I understand that things changed, but he played drastically different because the ball only went to RJ and Zion. Like Cam Reddish, like he did not play his game, but there's so much potential that these scouts see in him. I think that he just has a higher ceiling than Garland. And also Garland is not going to go to the Lakers because you have LeBron James who's basically their point forward.
Right. Yeah, he's not going to go there.
Exactly. So you want a guy who kind of space floor, even though you don't want to put Cam Reddish in just that role. Cam Reddish can also handle the rock. But I think they're going to go for the guy with the highest ceiling. So yeah, I definitely could see Garland falling all the way down to Phoenix. Phoenix is they're not letting Garland go. He can play.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Based on lineups.com, his strengths, he's a great shooter with range, and we can see that. Shot 47.8% from 3, 53.7% field goal percentage from the field. They say he has the best handle in his draft class. He's a scrappy defender. His weaknesses, he's not a finisher. Needs to add some strength to defend physical NBA guards. And his decision making needs some improvement. But someone could be getting a very good player at. I know. Listen, a lot of people are saying that the draft isn't as deep, but there's some guys that may end up surprising some people in this draft. I think Darius Garland could be one of them.
I'm not sure about the lineup saying that Garland has good defense. Garland's defense leaves, a lot to be desired.
But they said scrappy. They said scrappy defender. But they also said that he needs to add some strength so that he can defend NBA players.
You know who I see Garland as? What they might build him to be? Even though it might be hard on the Phoenix since they have so many scorers, or they have, Booker and Ayton and whoever the hell they have on that team who can score. Can't remember. Josh Jack, whatever. They might try to fashion him as more like a Damian Lillard point guard. A guy who's not necessarily the most adept at passing, but he creates opportunities based off his scoring, if that makes sense, in a sense of guys are going to double team him. He's going to be able to make the easier pass off the dribble versus actually trying to set up and go through motions and go through sets. I can see them doing that with Garland because, if you watch his game, he just reminds me of Lillard, like a more energetic, raw Lillard. I'm not saying he's at that level. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as him, but that's when I watch Garland, that's how I see him. But yeah, I don't know if you agree, but that's why I see a scoring point guard who has proficiency shooting the ball, which is what the NBA loves nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. That's what the NBA loves. Definitely what they love nowadays. I don't see the Knicks looking his way at all. They want wing players. The Knicks want wing players, which is why you see, of course, they have the interest in RJ Barrett. They brought in Jarrett Culver. They, I believe, plan on at least interviewing and will probably bring in Cam Reddish for a workout. They want wing players. They want long wing players that can play that 2 and 3 position. You know what I mean?
Play with energy. RJ Barrett, to me, they try to compare him to Wade. I don't know if he's that, but what we complain about with Knox in terms of like aggression, awareness, or just pushing the envelope, trying to create opportunities up. That's what, when you watch RJ, I know his numbers aren't the most proficient, but when you watch him, you see that talent. But yeah, and if you get to other guys, because they're killing me in the chat, so if you get to like Isaiah and Ant and all those buffoons.
Yeah, I'm getting around to them. They killing you said they're killing you in the chat. Let me get around to them.
Yeah, they're killing me, man.
They're getting jealous over airtime or something.
Yeah, they mad, man. Especially Isaiah.
Oh boy, Isaiah. All right, let me get Isaiah over here. He's about to cry. Let me get Isaiah over here. See,
you better say thank you, Isaiah.
You laying down sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to bring you up? Let's go, man. What's up? What's going on with you?
What's going on? Is Gilmore still live with me?
See, nah, he's not live. He's not live.
Oh.
It's just you. You wanted the airtime. You got the airtime. It's just you.
All right. Thank you, Gilmore, man. That's my. Thanks, James. Thank you, James.
All right, what's up?
Darius Garland, man. Very good point guard. How tall is he? Like 6 foot, 6'1"?
Like 6'2" or something.
I got it. He has a little bit of Kemba in him. I thought I kind of could see him going to the Suns, or maybe I still think the Lakers are taking Jarrett Culver. And then I see the Suns getting either the kid, him, or the kid from North Carolina. No, what's the point guard? The point guard. Yeah, Kobe White. I see them getting into him. Yeah, very good player, man. Can score, pass the ball. He had a very good tournament. And like Gilmore said, to me, it's don't fall in love with combines. I believe in workouts. I believe in the workouts that the team offer the kids.
Obviously, but the combines kind of give. See what it is about the combines. They give people measurements, body measurements. Looking at arm length, looking at their lateral movement, speed and agility, those different type of things that help you to project how a player, and of course it's not always going to be accurate, but how a player may develop, right?
Yeah.
Coaches, general managers, they look at a lot of things that we don't always look at. When people said about when Phil Jackson said about Kristaps Porzingis, when he talked about his height and his lower body strength, and there was something else I forgot that he said, and compared him to Sean Bradley, people bugged out and freaked out. But I understood what he was saying, about how a player may develop and grow in the future. If you look at a player that has big hands, you're like, you know what? He has big hands. He can protect the ball. He's not going to lose the ball. He can get his fingertips in and play defensively. Players that have long arms, if your feet are too small, right, but you're tall, that may mean that you're going to be clumsy and you don't have good balance. That may bother you in the NBA. Patrick Ewing had small hands, could barely palm a basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that it affected his game. So that's what those combines are for, to look at the physical stature and attributes of players. So you can
don't forget that too.
Interviews as well, so that you can tell how a player may grow, how a player may develop, and those type of things. But of course, it's not the end all be all. I was just saying that's how Culver started to move up in the draft, started to move up based on some of the things that happened in the combine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then of course individual workouts, because he's starting to do individual workouts. You've seen what happened. I mean, you've seen in the Lakers. He worked out for the Lakers. He jumped in his elbows, his armpit is over top of the rim, and all that kind of stuff. Those combines are worth something, I think.
Oh yeah, no. See, I'm not downplaying.
You want as much information.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying it. Like, for me, I think what Gilmore was getting at was kind of, and he said it before, was like, I think when he thinks of combines, I think he thinks of the NFL and how the NFL there's always that one dude at the combine that just murders it, that just kills it at the combine. He's like, this dude is it. And then you pick him early, and then he just comes out and he just, he just trained for the combine.
Because exactly. They train for the combine and they work on the drills that are going to be taking place at the combine so that they can perform well at the combine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but
go ahead. Finish.
I didn't repeat myself, so you can't mute me. I'm on the road right now. I'm hot right now. I'm hot right now. You can't stop me.
Okay,
you can't
that's
stop,
good.
Won't stop.
See, you learning. You're working on stuff. You're about to become a public speaker. I mean, you're already a comedian. You got to get on stage, and if you get on stage and you keep repeating yourself over and over and over, saying the same joke with the same concept again and again and again, they're gonna throw tomatoes at you.
Ain't nobody threw tomatoes at me yet. I got a couple of hecklers. Nobody throwing tomatoes at me, man.
All right, I'm coming to one of your shows so I can heckle you.
Oh,
you're not even gonna know. I'm gonna be way in the back. You're gonna be way in the back, and I'm gonna heckle you.
I'm telling you, you don't want that. So you're gonna try to fight me.
I'm gonna heckle you. I'm witty. I can come back. I can come back.
Don't wear that bucket hat, man.
I can come back. I am witty.
Sam,
I can come back.
I'm gonna say this, Sam. You don't wear that bucket hat, and Gimmo don't wear them extra small V-necks with the oil on his chest. Yo, man, this dude Gimmo be coming here with oil on his chest every.
Why you looking at his chest?
Wait, hold on.
Why are you looking at his chest? I mean, come on. What's up?
Hold on. Don't even. First of all,
I'm just asking the question.
We're not gonna do that.
I'm asking the question that everybody in the YouTube chat was probably wondering. Why are you looking at this man's chest?
I ain't looking.
That's all I'm saying.
First of all, Guillermo be having his chest poked out, and look, I'm just saying he be having the chest poked out. I don't be trying to look, man. This dude be in his gamer chair with his McDonald headphones on, and the chest just be all in the camera, and I'm just like, man, what is this dude doing, man?
All right, well, I'm gonna talk about Cam Reddish real quick, man. I'm gonna go over Cam Reddish so we can talk about Cam Reddish. Then when I come back, I'm gonna come to Mark. So tell Mark to be ready.
Yo, Mark, be ready, bro.
All right, tell Mark to be ready because we're gonna talk about Cam Reddish, and I know he's got some opinions on Cam Reddish. I'm gonna come to Mark. I'm gonna come to Nate. I'm gonna come to Ant. All right, so. This is what we're about to do. We're gonna get ahead. We're gonna talk about Cam Reddish. All right, let's get up here to Cam Reddish. Right now, lineups.com has him going number 6 to the Phoenix Suns. I'm not sure I exactly agree with lineups.com on that. Could be. I don't know if I agree with him, but Cam Reddish, another Duke player, another Dookie. All right. He is 19 years old. He's a small forward. He's about 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", 218 pounds. Got a 7'1" wingspan. He averaged 13.6 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 35.8% from the field, 33.3% from 3. Now, there's a lot of people that feel like he may have had a different season at Duke if R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson wasn't there. Of course, he got overshadowed, because of those two players. Based on what he did in high school, people thought that he could come in, and maybe if he played for another team, you would have seen a different Cam Reddish. So there are people, and I've seen people in the chat today to say that he may end up being the best player in the draft. We will see. We will see. His strengths, despite his struggles, he is a top-level shooter. I'm hoping that we see a difference when he gets into the NBA, where the floor is spread a little more wide open, where he's going to get open looks as long as he's playing with a good point guard or a team that can move the basketball. So we'll see if he can improve his shot percentage then. They say his body is NBA ready. So he's a good passer at his size or position. Has the potential to be a very good wing defender. His weaknesses, his mentality or his passion are constantly questioned. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Kevin Knox's passion or his motor was questioned, at least for Kevin Knox. That's not a good thing, though, for your passion for the game to be questioned. They say he has a tendency to overthink and tries to do too much at all times. And then, of course, his ball handling. Look, I watched him play, and I think that another year at Duke would actually do him very well. It's not going to happen because of where he is projected to be drafted. So it's not going to happen. I don't know if he's already secured an agent. Well, I believe the time for him to decide that he's not going to enter the draft is past already. So he's in the draft. He's in the draft. I would have liked to see him be at Duke for another year. Let him have the team. Let him be the man on his team, on that team. Probably could have slid himself up in the draft position, made a little bit more money. But I get it. He's still going to make good money. His ratings, his basketball IQ, 6. Shooting is a 9. Passing a 7, dribbling a 6, hustle a 6, and his defense is a 9. He's one of those guys where you're just not sure. You know, we're going to have to see. Just not sure. You know, just not sure yet where and what he'll be. He's one of those guys that probably has a lot of upside and talent, and he could be there, but does he have the ability to take it there? He has a great name, though, Cam Reddish. I think he has a great name. You know, the kind of name that is, you know, is catchy, I think, and people like to say. Has a good name. I think the Knicks have some interest and will definitely take a look at him. Probably have a workout with him. We want to see a little bit more. Let's see who lineups.com, who they compare him to. They compare him to Tracy McGrady. What do they say? They say, watching Reddish immediately reminds me of T-Mac. McGrady was best with the ball in his hands. Like McGrady, Reddish is a great shooter, but also capable of creating offense and being a playmaker. Reddish will need to clean up his ball handling a bit, but those skills and his abilities on the defensive end make him an exciting prospect. Okay, they say Tracy McGrady. We'll see if he can get to Tracy McGrady's height as far as basketball skill. Draft range, 4 to Chicago, 5 to Atlanta, 6 to Memphis. And we'll see. I don't know. And they must have had these draft ranges a long time ago because they got some stuff mixed up here as far as these draft ranges. 4 to Chicago, that's not right. 5 to Atlanta, that's not right. 6 to Memphis, that's not right. So somewhere along the line, they got this mixed up. They need to fix that. Lineups.com, you got to get it together, bro. Cam Reddish, folks, what do you guys think? I'm coming to the video chat. I want to know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Knicks are going to get this guy a workout. All right? Going to get this guy a workout. Big shout out to Kevon. He said, let's talk Rui Hachimura. Won the Julius Erving Award as best small forward in college basketball. Shared an award with Zion. High motor, passion, improved a ton. A decorated player in Japan. He said, get ATLs 8 and 10 and get 2 prospects. Well, you know, we'll take a look at Rui Hachimura. I think the Knicks we'll take a look at him. We'll definitely take a look at him. Come on, thank you. All right, we're going to take a look at him. Let me get to this phone call, and then we're going to get to the video chat. Caller, you're on Live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, fellas? So I know you guys want to talk a lot, and I do too, about, you know, first-round draft picks and, you know, possible trades and stuff like that. But what about undrafted guys? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
You know what? I do not yet. I need to do a little bit more research and look a little bit more. You know, I want to. I'm gonna have a third part to this on another day where we kind of look at, you know, some of those second round picks or 50. You know, we have the 55th pick. You know, so you know what we might look to do at that 55th pick, and then undrafted players as well, because as we've seen, there's a lot of talent that for whatever reason gets passed on in the first and second round, ends up undrafted, like Trier, right? And ends up, you know, doing something special in the NBA. You know, so yeah, we'll definitely take a look at players that may go undrafted and might be some good looks for the Knicks.
That's kind of what I was thinking. There's this guy, J.D. Harmeyer with Ball State. I don't know if you've heard of him at all.
Have not.
No, the guy's killing it. I mean, you got to look at him. I think he's D2. I'm not 100% sure, but he's D2. J.D. Harmeyer is killing it. There's this guy, Jason Kaplan. I think he might be, I don't know if he's D1 or D2, also killing it. I mean, definitely some options out there, I feel.
Yeah, there's always options out there, and then, you know, you get these guys, you bring them into your G League, you start to develop them in your system, and and all of a sudden they're ready to come in and step in and play for you. So we'll definitely take a look at that. The next show will be Monday. I planned on looking at, you know, some second round guys. So we'll also look at some players that could go undrafted.
Like Fred Norris. I think Fred Norris might be, is he a second round guy? I'm not sure.
You know, it's hard to say in the second round. A lot does, you know, that combine and workouts and things like that. A lot depends on what coaches are looking for. And if they look at a player and they say, you know what, I think this guy might have something, I'll take him in the second round. Yeah. So it's hard to say who could, you know, who might fall out or who might be taken.
I think our big steal would be Gary Delabate in the third. That's my hope.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, you guys keep doing your thing, man. I hope the Knicks get all these guys. You know, Jason Kaplan, Gary Delabate, Fred Norris. You know, all these guys. It would be awesome.
Yeah, hey, you know what? We're going to take some time and look up these guys and get some information on them as well, so we can talk about it on Monday.
Awesome, man. Baba Booey, have a good night.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, see ya.
All right, yeah, that is a definite for Monday night. We're going to have another draft special where we're going to talk about second round picks and undrafted players. Possibility of those guys. Let's get back to the video chat and talk a little bit about Cam Reddish. I'm coming to you, Mark. All right, so I hope you're ready. My man, Mark, you ready? I don't think he is. Look at him. He's gabbing. Mark, you ready? Mark, what's good, man?
Well, check this, though. Check this.
Hey, Mark.
I think, he coming to me?
Who's Mark? Gee, I called his name 57 times.
Yo.
What's going on, man? What's up?
Yo, man.
First of all, hey, Mark. I just want to ask you this, man. We was on the front stoop last night, and you come in all hyped up in the chat talking about the Knicks. We talk about some serious topics. And you know,
I didn't come in with the Knicks. I didn't come in with the Knicks. I came in with the Nets.
Okay, the Nets. I mean, all right. But what I'm saying, and I seen Ant start giggling too, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, what is Mark talking about? And I think it was Ant who said something to him like, yo, Mark, we talking about something important here. And Mark was like, this is important. I'm like, yo, Mark, but we talking about something like other than that. But anyway, man.
Hold on. You didn't read what else I said. He told me what y'all was talking about, and I didn't see the movie that y'all was talking about, so I couldn't comment on it. That's why I said this is more important, because what the Nets did, what the Nets did, Sin, we in trouble, bro.
All right.
We in trouble, bro.
Well, we're gonna get back to that. Talk to me about Cam Reddish, man. What do you feel about Cam Reddish?
Oh, listen, man. I still like him as a talent because he's still. I think he has the skill set to handle the ball, to shoot, to make plays. He's 6'8". He's graceful with his talent. He can handle the ball. But like I said, he was playing with two other guys and played the third role, so you're not going to see much out of him. But with Cam Reddish is situational because I'm not going to pick him at 3.
Right.
Because I'm going to take RJ for other purposes. There's other purposes why I'm going to take RJ. Because it's either we use him for a trade, but now I'm wary about that. So it's just like, I'm just going to take RJ because, it's just, he's bigger. And if things don't land for the Knicks this summer, which is, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm in a black hole tonight. I'm just not myself tonight. And Cam Reddish is good where he's at, around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where he's at for the talent, for what he displayed. Because if we take him at 3, we take it on I'm taking him on what I believe. He can either be Rudy Gay or he could be that special talent I think he could be. But we can't risk that because we have this pick and we can use it to do so many things because of what's happening in free agency. But Sam, you know who, when I talked about DeAndre Hunter, he reminded me of Danny Granger.
Okay.
He reminded me of Danny Granger a lot. And I thought about it when you talked about him because he could shoot, he could play defense. The thing he's not good at, he don't handle the ball well. Mm-hmm. And Danny Granger was never a dribbler. He was more of a shooter, a line drive guy, played defense. And then when they drafted Paul George, they looked at Paul George more of what he is today.
Right.
So DeAndre Hunter is more like a plug-in guy, a high quality role player.
Okay.
If he continue what he did in the Final Four, one thing about him is he has NBA size. I think he's ready for the NBA to play NBA defense. I think he's that good. I really think he's that good. I think he's one of the sleepers. It's him and Garland for me, the two sleepers. And Culver, I looked at him in the meeting. He is huge.
Yeah, he is.
He is huge.
He is.
Did you see his chest? He is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of scouts seeing him close up are like,
it's different. When I looked at him,
different.
It's different. And when when people said, yeah, DeAndre Hunter shut him down. If you watch that finals very closely, he wasn't there offensively, but what he did, Sim, he was still there defensively, and he was making plays. I swear to you, the plays he was making when he got DeAndre Hunter off the dribble and he was passing out, if they would have scored, Texas Tech could have won. If you go look at the last 5 minutes, the other guys who he was passing to couldn't score. But he made every right play. He made every single right play. He's a playmaker. That's what intrigued me a lot more. But Sim, what he did, he stayed in the game defensively.
Yeah.
He stayed in the game defensively. That means he's wired. He's wired. If he don't score, but he's wired to do other things, and that's what I like in him.
That's what I like too. I really like the kid a lot, but it's hard to pass up on RJ Barrett.
Yes, because
but I really do like him a lot.
There's so many things with Art. You see, the thing is, I would have took Culver at 3, right? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I would have took Culver at 3. Now the way Golden State, the way they're losing, I think KD's really gonna stay because all this was predicated of Golden State winning. Mm-hmm. Because now that's what I'm wary now, Sim. And I wanted to talk about this because there's something that we're missing right now. And remember when I said, I don't want KD here by himself, because if we get KD here by himself, I don't want him here by himself, Sim. I'm sorry. Because if Kawhi wins it, I think he's staying in Toronto for at least 1 more or 2 more years. And they're going to come back with that same team. And KD alone ain't cutting it. And I don't want to waste 3 years of his prime And I think he's going to look at his career as like, if I can't get Kyrie, because Kyrie's his own man. I don't know if Kyrie's coming to the Knicks, Sim, because I don't think Brooklyn would have did that trade. What Brooklyn did is what the Knicks did, Sim.
I know. I know.
Sim, I think they got Kyrie in the door. Because check this now. Kyrie could say, KD, come to Brooklyn. It's more established here. But people forget there's Jimmy Butler out there. He could be a play because he wants to play in a big market. And he will come to New York because that's the type of cat he is. And Kyrie's his own man, because think about it. He left LeBron, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
And if KD comes to the Knicks, KD's going to get more favor than Kyrie. And Kyrie left because LeBron was running the show and he didn't get none of that treatment there. And if KD come here, KD's getting the whole house. Book that. And Brooklyn gave up a next year first round and this year first round. I don't think Brooklyn would have did that if they didn't have Kyrie in the trenches with them. Because they did that to open it up to have a chance to get either Kawhi, KD, or Jimmy Butler. Because I don't think they want to sign D'Angelo to that sheet, to that $20 million sheet, because they got Kyrie. And D'Angelo and Kyrie ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work as a tandem. They both need the ball. And Golden State losing tonight is going to make KD going to stay, because the narrative is like, yeah, now they need KD. And KD's going to feed into that. And now I really don't know how to feel. I really don't. Like, I'm really like,
I don't think there's any way to feel, but just
Sim, it's too many players.
Just see what can happen, man. I don't know if there's any way to feel.
I don't even know what David Griffin's gonna do with Anthony Davis, because now Boston's still in play for Anthony Davis. I don't want KD here by himself, and I don't want Kemba Walker. That'd just be a waste of KD 3 years of prime. Sorry, we're in a limbo right now, and you said it. I heard when you said it. We're in trouble. We're in trouble because there's 4 to 5 teams out there that are more well-established and have established players. That's what people are not understanding. Yeah, our roster might seem good, but we don't know what those players thinking. You got Lou Williams, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. They're more seasoned. The Brooklyn players, yeah, I know they might not look good by name, but they seasoned, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
They seasoned. Our guys are just guys we don't know what they are. They're incomplete right now. All of our guys are incomplete. I know what Karis LeVert is. I know what Dinwiddie is. I know what Jaron Allen is. I know what Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. I know what Lou Williams. I know what Montrezl Harrell is. And Kyrie messed it up for us. Kyrie really did. Kyrie's the reason why we're in a limbo. Kyrie's the reason. Because Brooklyn would have never did that. They would have never did that.
Okay. All right. Well, back to the draft.
Yeah, back to the draft now.
I had to let him get it off his chest, ladies and gentlemen. I had to let him get it off his chest, man.
I'm sorry, because
he had to get it off his chest. I knew he had to get it off his chest. All right. Now let's talk about. We're gonna look at Rui Hachimura. I guess. Okay.
You like him, Sim?
I don't know if he's gonna. He's definitely not gonna be a number 3 pick, in my opinion. He's someone that you would get later in the draft.
You know what he remind me of?
I just want to, just once again, Kevon, asked to talk about Rui Hachimura, who won the Julius Erving Award as the best small forward in college basketball, sharing the award with Zion. High motor, passion, improved a lot, or he says a ton. A decorated player in Japan. He's saying trade down, get Atlanta's 8 and 10 and get Rui Hachimura at one of those and come away with 2 prospects.
Sim, I don't
know if the Knicks doing that.
You know what I was thinking?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking if KD really stayed with Golden State, I probably would have traded third for those 3 picks. I think I would have. I think I would.
Do you think you're getting an all-star at those picks, though? Do you think you're getting an all-star at those picks?
The only outlier would be Cam Reddish that I would get out of those at that pick. That means I would be banking on. It all depends. If Culver don't go so early, 4, 5, 6, and he's around there about 7, 8, 9, then it would be great because I like Culver really a lot.
Yeah. So Rui Hachimura is a junior. Gonzaga.
Oh, he's a junior?
I thought he was a senior. I think he's a senior. I thought he was a senior. 21 years old, 6'8", 235 pounds, got a 7'2" wingspan. Right? His strengths, size, and strength. That's one of his strengths.
He has
Defense.
a good pick-and-roll game.
Finishing, good finisher. Rebounding. He averaged scoring because he averaged 19.7 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He shot 60% from the field, 46.9% from 3. Weaknesses are his outside jumper, ball handling, and scoring against NBA defense. They have him going about number 15 to the Pistons.
Yeah, that's about right. But think about this, Sim. His ceiling is not high enough.
He's
one of those players. He's one of those players. Like he remind me of when Frank Kaminsky played. He was the best. He was one of the best college basketball players. And it's like you would think he would have been either translated to the NBA because he could space the floor and shoot. I think and his ceiling is just his ceiling ain't going to be high enough to go top 10.
Yeah, and yes, he's a junior. He's a junior.
Yeah, his ceiling ain't high enough.
He is a junior. I thought he was a senior, but he is a junior. I don't think his ceiling is high enough either.
Yeah, I don't know. No, he's around like the 15.
Yeah, I don't think his ceiling is high enough either.
And they just say he don't have handle. He don't have handle, and he has problem with NBA defense. Yeah, his ceiling's gonna be very, very low. And he can't shoot outside. Yeah, his ceiling's gonna be very low.
You know what? I don't know. They say he can't shoot outside, but he was 47% from 3-point line.
Let me ask you a question. How much did he attempt it?
I don't know. That's a good question. He still shot 60% from the field.
Yeah, because that Gonzaga offense was mainly off pick and roll. His pick and roll game is tight. I tell you that. His pick and roll game is tight. That's where all those points was coming from. His pick and roll game is tight.
You know, let me see. Let's see. Against Washington. 3-point attempts.
Yeah, that means
2018. Well, they don't really show his attempts. They don't show. Okay. He shot like 1 a game.
Yeah, no, he's not a good 3-point shooter.
He shot like 1 a game. So I guess you got to take it from there. Shot like 1 a game.
Yeah, for a small forward, you have to at least attempt 4 or 5 of them and hit 2. He's not a 3-point shooter. He's a pick and roll player. You remind me of Jaron Sullivan. You remind me of Jaron Sullivan a lot. Pick and roll game is good.
Yeah. Let me get around. Let me see what I'm gonna come to Nate, then I'm gonna come to Ant. Because we've been on for a while. It's almost time to bring this thing to a close. But I see Ant's chilling in the man cave. Is that what that sign says behind you? Is that what that says behind you? That picture behind you says Man Cave, something Man Cave 1929?
Oh, mine?
Yeah, up there behind you. There was a picture. I thought it said Man Cave. Yeah, the Man Cave. Established 1929.
Yeah.
Oh,
Detroit.
Okay, for the Lions. Okay, all right. I see.
But it's a Man Cave.
Rui Hachimura.
I'm gonna give you my Rui kick opinion on Rui, and then I want to talk about Cam Reddish real quick because you didn't get to me on Cam Reddish.
Okay, cool.
Rui, I mean, good high energy guy. I compare him more to like a Ba Mute, Trevor Ariza maybe type of mold. Not super athletic, more of a tweener type of dude. I'm a little worried if he's listed as a small forward and doesn't really have a shot. Going to struggle against defenses, especially inside, because he's too small to play inside unless you play him in a small ball lineup. It kind of reminds me of like how they used Jordan Bell in the finals. The guy can't shoot, but he's athletic and he's got a good wingspan. so he can alter some shots. That kind of thinks of how they might use him unless he develops a jump shot. He's probably he's a role player. I mean, I don't think he's anything special. If he was taller and maybe had a better shot, he probably would be more in the top 10. But because he's undersized and he has no shot, it's hard to project him any farther than that.
Okay. All right. What about Cam? I know you want to talk about Cam. What about Cam?
So Cam Reddish is one of my favorite players in the draft this year. I liked him out of high school. A lot of people did compare him to Tracy McGrady. I think he's got a mold of Tracy McGrady and some Paul George in him. People forget that Cam Reddish had a very tough situation because he played with a transcendent player in Zion Williams and a really elite prospect in RJ Barrett. So when you have three good players on one team, it's going to be hard for all of them to be on the same level. And Cam took the backseat to both of those two. You saw flashes of how he can play. Like if you watch that Florida State game where I think Zion was out at that time and RJ Barrett, he hit the game-winning shot. He played pretty well in that game. So he's had some good moments. I think we haven't seen the best of him. I truly believe that he is the highest ceiling player out of the wing defenders. I think he's got a higher ceiling than Culliver. I think he's got a higher ceiling than Hunter. We don't know a lot about this player because he played on a stacked team. And I truly believe if you would have put him on a team by himself, he would not only been the best player, but he would have been a hell of a scorer. Okay. Because if you watch him coming out of high school, the guy was highly touted. Good size, good shot. He's already a good defender. He's going to get better. I definitely think that if the Knicks do trade down, that he is their target. I think that they really want him. But like I said, if RJ Barrett's there, you take RJ Barrett because he's got heart and ability.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to work on his shot and he's got to work on not turning over the ball. But he's got a lot of stuff that you can't coach. But I'm just saying, if the Knicks do trade down, I think Cam's a target. I really do.
Okay.
I think the Knicks quietly really love him. So.
Okay. All right. We'll see, man. It's a lot that's going to happen, and I'm sure right now the Knicks are, well, maybe not right now, but the Knicks are on the phone,
Oh, yeah.
Talking, negotiating, doing their thing. And coming to you, man. What do you got to say? Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish. What do you think about these guys?
No and no. I like those guys. But I mean, we lucked into a top 3 pick in a top 3 draft, and it was luck that we got into it because, the odds of us getting it were very low.
True.
So I don't really like the idea of trading back. But, just to give my, general opinion on those guys, I think Rui, he has a low ceiling but a very high floor. He plays hard, he plays the right way, he plays fundamentally sound. So he's a guy that is going to be in the league. He's going to find his niche somewhere, and he's going to be a contributor for a winning team at some point. So I do like Rui. Cam Reddish, I've never liked Cam Reddish. I think Cam is still, surviving off of his high school reputation, his high school mixtapes, his ranking coming into college. Because the way he played last year, he didn't play like a top 15 pick. So, it's a lot of excuses that, some are legit, play style, play calls, amount of touches he got. But I believe he should have stayed another year, been the man at Duke next year. It done really showed, his capabilities, but I'm not really high on him. Not yet. I think he's still a little too immature game-wise, physically. He's not really consistent at any one thing. But, the potential is there, the size, the height, the skill. I mean, it's all there. But a lot of guys end up, a lot of guys come into the league with that much potential and never, become what they could have been. I always compare him to Nick Young because that's who I see, man. But we'll see, man.
Yeah. We'll see. Now, look, we coming down to the end because it's almost 2:30 in the morning. We got about 5 minutes left. I want to give a shout out to Hotep Rel. He said everyone needs to listen to the Zach Lowe pod. Excuse me. He says everyone needs to listen to the Low Post mini podcast. I think KD is out now after listening to that. Friction between KD and his teammates. And again, Hotep Rel says, Mark, I think KD and his teammates have friction. This is something that Nate was alluding to a little bit earlier, that KD just doesn't look hungry for, to continue playing with the Golden State Warriors. So a big shout out, Hotep. Thank you for the super chat. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. We're going to wrap up this stuff about the draft. Then we're going to talk about that. Just really quick, Ant.
Mm-hmm.
Second round, 55th pick. We're going to talk about that in the next draft, draft special. We're going to talk about that Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Any ideas?
Man, that's where it gets interesting. That's where I get excited because that's where I feel like we have a lot of different options. I think we're going to look at guys like Shamari Pons from St. John's. It's this kid coming out of high school, Jalen LeCue. He's a point guard. He's very athletic. So I think he'll probably get a workout. Taco Fall. I'm not big on Taco. I watched him play his whole college career. He's never impressed me. So, and I don't really, he's kind of big and gimmicky. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. But, it's going to be exciting. I'm going to do some more research on the guys that may be available there because I'm not quite sure, who will still be available at that pick.
Right.
But, I'm excited for it because, Scott Perry and Steve Mills have shown that they have an eye for talent at that part of the draft. So, I'm interested to see if we can get another Mitchell Robinson this year. So it should be exciting.
All right. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Now, we got the 55th pick, so
right, it's like at the very end,
right at the very end. But doesn't mean we can't find something there. All right, let's switch gears. We just seen Hotep Rel talk about Kevin Durant, right? And that he still believes that Kevin Durant may leave Golden State, as we were talking about earlier, due to friction with his teammates in Golden State. But should he be the Knicks' number one target? Or should it be Kawhi? And do the Knicks even have a chance at Kawhi? The Knicks believe that they will definitely get a sit down with Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk to him. Should Kawhi Leonard be the Knicks' number one target? What do you think, Ant?
That's a question for me?
Yeah, that's a question for you. Should they be his number one target?
So when we talk about, talent and who I prefer, I don't even know if I prefer one or the other, but I wouldn't be, I would love if Kawhi was our number one option, but I guess my answer would be Durant, only because I think that's what we have the better shot at. And I think we need to put our time and resources into something that's realistic. If we get, now we should put the fillers out on Kawhi, see where but they talk to agents and stuff. They already have a good idea of the chances they have. So if they feel like they got a good shot at Kawhi, then go for it. But I don't want to waste too many resources, especially this summer where you have all these teams with money. Time is going to be real precious. So we got to, allocate our resources to the players that we know we can get. And if Kawhi had his mind set on LA or Toronto, then I wouldn't even spend too much time on it. But if he says, I want to come to the Knicks, or that's the place I would like to play, then you got to do what you got to do. Get that meeting, sell yourself, and keep pushing. So I would say 1A, 1B. You know, probably what could, you know, Durant being 1A.
Okay. I tend to I believe that Kawhi Leonard is going to think he's staying in Toronto.
I think so too.
I kind of feel like after making it, especially if they win,
you can't.
If they win, I think he's staying.
How old is Kawhi, Sam? 26, 27? Or is he 30, 28?
Let me see. I'm not sure. He's 27 years old.
So maybe he signs a 3-year with a player option after the second, and then he's a free agent again at 30. You know, and they can go to LA.
Yeah. Listen, I think, and a lot of people thought when he was traded to Toronto that it was just the right fit, the right place for him to be. Toronto was kind of a place that's, from what I've heard and been told, it's very, very nice, right? People love it there, but it kind of flies under the radar. It's quiet. You don't hear too much about it.
And Seb, I don't know if you saw it today.
It's kind of just like him.
Like, it's not just Toronto. It's the whole country of Canada.
Exactly. Right. It's the entire country that he owns.
Yeah. So
the entire country in the palm of his hands. Yeah. You know, you kind of, you know, you control that country. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think he's leaving Toronto. I think he's going to stay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think he's staying in Toronto. So do the Knicks legitimately have a chance? I don't think so. I don't think they have a chance. You know, do you take the sit down? Yeah, you do, but I don't think they have a chance with him.
That was a planted leak. You know, the Nets were getting all this publicity yesterday to the Knicks. You know, it was like a petty leak. You know, so, because the Knicks still got the back page.
Right.
So it's like, you know, somebody let that out. You know.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you know what, man? It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm about to get up out of here. It's been a 3-hour show. So if you got some last words for me, man, you got some last words so we can start to jump out of here.
All right, man. Yeah, man. Y'all pray for who's Mark, man. He's going through it right now. Pray for that man.
I know he is. He's hurting. He'll be all right.
Yeah. You know what it is, man? He's overthinking a lot of stuff, man. He's just, you know, he's allowing these guys to you know, get him off his center. But, you know, I would just say, you know, to Knicks fans, ignore all of this talk, all of these reports, man. It's just, it'll drive you crazy, man, because they saying 95% one day and the next day they going somewhere else. Kyrie will probably be going to Memphis tomorrow. So I would just stop paying attention to it. June 30th will be here in a couple weeks. And then, you know, it'll all work out. It'll work itself out.
We're in a good spot. Couple weeks.
We're in a good spot. Don't get Steve Mills and Scott Perry, you know, do the logical and do the common sense moves. I mean, we'll come out of the summer, you know, in a good spot.
I feel you. All right, Ant. I'll be back on Monday, man, so we can finish up this draft special. And
I'll be here.
All right, man. I'll catch you then.
All
right, peace. All right, let me see who we're gonna get to. Let's get to jeez. I'm coming to Mark. I say throw his hand up in the air. Hey, Mark, man, give me some last words, man. Give me some last words. Hey, Mark, you there?
Why I can't hear Sam?
I don't know, but can you there? I guess I gotta come back. You there? Guess I gotta come back around to you, Isaiah. I'm gonna come back around to you, Isaiah, because Mark's having some technical issues. Go ahead, man.
You know, I didn't repeat myself today. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm focused.
I mean, you just said, like, every single time that you stepped on, you said you didn't repeat yourself.
But that don't count because...
How you figure that don't count? You just repeated yourself. You just repeated yourself.
Look, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself.
You just said that like 3 times straight.
Don't take my mojo right now, Sam.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
do it.
You just said I'm proud of myself like 3 times straight.
Because I'm proud of myself 4 times.
Yeah, and then every time you got in here, you said I didn't repeat myself.
Hey, you know what? We made it. Jesus, we made it. But you know what? Some great show tonight, man. Please, everybody, please. I really do believe that our last front stoop was a very powerful one, and we talked about a lot of real stuff on there. And I want everybody just to subscribe to my man. And just, if you're not gonna watch any of them, watch that one, because I think that one was so important, man. And like I said, it really that one really hit home, man, because I think a lot of us here, we have a lot of young, Black and Latino men that are profiled on a daily basis, and we don't talk about it, and we just, and it's sad because it shouldn't be the norm, or we treat it as the norm. It's not the norm, and and we talked about it last night, and it was great conversation about the American justice system, how it affects us, how we feel about it, and it's great, man. I feel like we're sparking a great conversation that needs to be talked about, that needs to be heard, and needs to be spread out, just not on YouTube, but for everybody to listen, man. This is for Black men, white men, Asian men. It's for everybody, man. It was a great conversation. I'm so proud to be part of it, and I'll be glad we talked about it, man. Powerful.
Yeah, it was definitely good.
Yeah, man. But other than that, man, I'm proud of myself. I'm gonna say it one more time.
All right, man. Well,
but yeah, man. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy it.
All right.
Good night, Nate. Good night, Mark. Yo, please pray for my brother Mark, man. My brother Mark is going through it.
Mark will be all right, man. Mark will be okay. Mark is gonna be all right. He better
listen, man. I joke about Mark, but Mark is probably the heartbeat of the show besides Sim. Sim, you're the head, but Mark is the heartbeat. and when
I would
Mark's
agree
down,
with you.
And when Mark's down, we all down. I couldn't even joke with Mark. I couldn't even make fun of Mark tonight. That's how sad Mark got me down, man. Mark got me down. Yo, pray for my brother Mark, man. He gonna be good, man.
All right, man.
All
right,
man.
Peace. All right, Mark. It's on you, bro.
Listen, I'm sorry to the video chat. Wasn't on my Prozac mark tonight, but the Golden State losing the way they did, all that is predicated of making me feel like, okay, KD, you really gonna come. But if he comes back 5, 6, and 7, he wins, Golden State's gonna be in play with him. But what Brooklyn and Kyrie's doing to me right now is really some Brooklyn-ish. Like, they really went behind my back doing things. That's how I feel like. I just feel like they wouldn't have done that if they didn't have Kyrie in there. But what kills me the most, Sim, if we do go young, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we go with the young Breds, what free agent is ever going to sign here? Even if we get good. That is another thing that we have to think about.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, you projecting real far. Let's just focus on from now until the 30th and see what happens from now until June 30th, and then go from there. You're projecting. Like, what if this, that, you're projecting.
But Sim, it's so many players out here with money. That's the thing. There's so many. I seen the video you put up today. It's so many other players with better situations. And then it's not just Kevin Durant. I wanted him and Kyrie as a tandem. I don't want KD here by himself. Then who he's gonna play with?
Well, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
But I'm just speculating. But
I know, but you speculating, but you also stressing. Like, you got your eyes closed.
Let me ask a question.
You know what I'm saying?
Who is us as Knicks fans to have this type of confidence? That's the thing. Y'all oozing confidence tonight.
It's all right. All right. I mean, you know why? You know why? Because no matter what happens, we're either going to be a team that that people are looking at as possible contenders next year, or we're going to be a team, or we're going to be a team that is building with the youth. Either way, it's good.
No, either way,
that's the way I'm seeing it. We're not going to do anything that puts us in the middle. That's how I see it. That's why I'm not worried at all, because what will be bad is if we have large contracts with veterans and we're an 8th seed. We're not going to be that. We're going to be either a young team with young players and we're building, or we're going to be a team that would like win now mode. We're going to be one of those two, because we have the flexibility and the ability to do it that way. That's why I'm not worried.
No, you see, okay, I'm looking at one-sided because the big fish is out, right? The big fish is out. So if the big fish was alerting us, he's coming. But then the other dude is acting like a scorned girlfriend, not wanting to come back to me because she's scorned. And I want her so we could create a team to be a win now team. I just didn't want to go into the next season to come back into this chat game to game, just killing the Knicks if we lose, win.
But I get it. But listen. Here's going to be the difference next year if we come back like this. If we come back this way, this is going to be the difference. Last year, we still had some veterans that you're like, why is this guy playing? Why is this guy playing? We want to develop if we're supposed to be developing the youth. It's not going to be that way next year. Look at who we have on the team that's actually under contract. They're all under 22 years old.
No doubt.
Then if you bring RJ Barrett, he's 19 years old, going to be 19 years old. Yeah, you'll have a couple of veterans that you fill out because you want the guys to have some leadership in the locker room. But then you're going to have, if it doesn't work out with the free agent stuff, you're going to have youth.
So
you're going to play the youth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about it.
This will change my mood, and I'm gonna get off. This will change my mood for next season. If nothing happened, we go young with RJ Barrett in the forefront. If RJ Barrett showed any type of eliteness, then I will be back on my high horse with the Knicks team, and I can go from there. If he showed me any level of, I ain't scared of this, I can hold this down, I could be a number 1 or a number 2 in future time coming. Like he showed some development of growth, like, this kid's going to be good in the next few years. But if I'm just looking at all from a blank sheet right now of all the incomplete plays that we have right now and going into the next season and probably being the same team, not the same team as in with, the same guys on the roster, but, adding veterans, but, the same just team struggling to win, it's going to be a problem for me because just because Kevin Durant is the free agent and he kind of made a note that he wanted to come to the Knicks, it made me hype in a way because he's the big fish. He's the guy that could.
I get it.
Yeah, he's the guy that could get you to the championship. So now, if he's out there and he's showing face to us, but when you look at the finals, he's going to need a boatload of help because these teams are going to come back stronger and better. I believe what happened to Joel Embiid this year, I think he's going to take his game serious. I think Giannis and them going to come back forefront.
They are.
If Kawhi stays strong, if Kawhi stays in Toronto, they're going to come back strong because that team just looked like a whole bunch of Kawhis on the floor. They ain't scared no more. So it's just like all of these teams in the way, man. It's just we're in a dilemma, guys.
We're going to be all right, Mark. Trust me. Listen, I got to let you rock, man. Gotta let you rock.
Yo, listen, man. After all free agent go down, nothing goes down. Y'all don't think you're gonna see me anymore.
Man,
I don't think I'm gonna see you anymore, man. I'm making cameos.
You'll be here. You can't help it. You'll be out for a couple days, but you'll be all right.
Yeah, I can't take it, Sam. My heart
Mark. I'll catch you Monday, man. Get this guy out of here. Nate, man, you want to finish it up, please?
He act like he already lost the offseason. We haven't even started it yet.
Ain't even got to it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Hey, real quick point on Kawhi. I think we have a better chance than people think because if people forget when Kawhi the trade talks were going for Kawhi and New York's name was listed, his people wanted New York. They wanted him to go to New York. They wanted the Knicks to trade for him. And Kawhi listens to his people. That's one of the reasons why he's out of San Antonio, because they didn't like what was going on in San Antonio, and they convinced him to get the hell out of there or demand a trade or whatever it was.
All right.
So we have a better chance to get him than you think. Now, if he stays, he should stay in Toronto, because I was listening to The Jump or something like this. I mean, he turned down a supermax with San Antonio, and Toronto can pay him a good amount of money, the most that any team can offer. So if he leaves Toronto, I mean, the guy's already left almost $100 million on the table. That's crazy. You know?
Yeah. Well, he's that kind of guy. He's a different type of dude. You know what I mean?
He is a very different type of
dude,
player.
So.
But he fits what New York wants to do. If we want to be defensive, like you gave me props earlier, and I appreciate that on the defense. If you want to preach defense, you start with a guy like Kawhi, because he automatically makes your team a top 10 defense. Because people will follow what he does.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So I mean, like you said, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of things out there that we still don't know yet. Hey, when is your next front stoop?
Next Thursday.
Okay.
Next
I might
Thursday.
check it out. I might check it out because y'all are talking about some stuff that I kind of want to voice my opinion on too.
Yeah, definitely, man. Check it out. Jump in there. A lot of stuff we talk about. I mean, we talk about music and, a lot of different things, but we talk about some good stuff going on in society. So, yeah.
I'll check it out for sure.
All right.
And when's your next show?
Next Thursday. For NBK Monday.
NBK. Monday? Okay.
Yep.
All right,
man. Bro.
Have a good
Appreciate
weekend.
it. Have a good weekend. Peace. All right. Good show, ladies and gentlemen. Good show. And I thank you guys for staying up with me. It's 2:46 in the a.m. Hopefully you guys don't have to get up in the morning. I do. I have a fundraiser tomorrow morning. It doesn't start till 9 o'clock, so it's not too bad. I'm going to have a rough day on Sunday. And Sunday, I got to get up 6 o'clock in the morning, drive for an hour and a half, play 3 basketball games, and then come home. It's going to be a rough day on Sunday. Hopefully nothing crazy happens with the Knicks or any kind of wild trades or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to have to jump on. But, hey, thank you guys for being on with me. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm always going to ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can get notified anytime that I'm live. You're going to want to stay updated on what's happening with the New York Knicks. And I got you. I promise you that. All right? Share it. Like it. And when I say share it, I mean send it out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, wherever you want to share it to. Share it out there. I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. And look, I'm going to see you guys Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday as we finish up this draft special, the third part. And have a great weekend, guys. And ladies, whoever's out there, have a great weekend. Peace.